My name is Aidan Kearney, also known as Turtleboy.
He is a senior editor for Turtleboy Daily News.
I'm a big fan.
We've broken hundreds of stories that the mainstream media won't touch.
Some blogger in Massachusetts who's getting to the bottom of this better than anybody.
Why is it Turtleboy that is covering such important issues? Where is the rest of the media?
You did not say that you were gonna take my baby out of revenge and make him a transgender baby.
Stop it.
Don't you want to ask some questions? I know you do.
I do. I know.
People don't like the things that I say and want me to stop saying them, but I won't. I'm never going to stop. These are the kind of stories that must be told.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Boys, go baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up the singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wild, and you must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this, so it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom. You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. What's up, turtle people? How's everyone out there doing tonight? Good? Good? Excellent. You made it. Congratulations. We are not on YouTube tonight, as you may have seen. You're not on YouTube right now. If you are on YouTube, you're missing the show. And I guarantee there's probably a lot of people that are going to go to the YouTube tonight that didn't see the announcement because they don't follow me on Twitter and they don't follow on Facebook. And that's a shame because you really should follow Turtleboy on everything. Because if you're new here, we get banned from shit like a lot. Like this staying on Facebook thing, this is a new phenomenon. I've lost over 50 Facebook pages, including one that had 112,000 followers back in 2017. It's the biggest I ever had. I was banned from Twitter for years. Go read my book. I was banned for years. I finally got back on a couple years ago. I just passed 66,000 followers today. We're going to get to 100 before you know it. There's people watching this show on Twitter right now. 1,800 of you crazy people out there. Yeah, all because of a poll question. Because of this poll question. I'll show you which one. The one that got us banned was this one. You can do it on Twitter because Twitter is run by a cool person named Elon Musk, where like you have free speech rights and stuff like that. I asked, who is a bigger piece of shit? Julie Nagel or Katie McLaughlin? Now, I could have just said who's a bigger liar because they're both filthy, disgusting liars, but I just felt like piece of shit was a more appropriate term for them because they're lying in a murder case. They're just such pieces of shit. And I'm glad Julie Nagel won because she's a huge piece of shit. She really is. She's just awful. She's just a horrible person. And what really sucks about it is her brother is like one of the good guys in this. He's the guy that like he's going to save the day. And his sister is just such a huge piece of shit. I don't know how else to say it. So yeah, we put this same poll question on YouTube during today's stream because it just came to me, and I'm just banned. I'm banned from using YouTube for a week. We got a strike. And it just sucks because like we've built in the last, I mean, how many subs are we up to on YouTube now? I mean, it sucks that you need these tech companies. Like we are up to 62, almost 62.5. I don't even like we've gotten like 10,000 new subs in the last month. Like it's been wild. It's been wild. So, but you know, I guess every day now we're gonna have to do it on a Rumble because I look over there right now on the Rumble machine and I see I see 3,200 of you Rumble rats over there. So it looks like you found it. The Rumble rats have grown. There's usually about 200 of you people. I see 3,300, 3,200 and counting right now. And we got people over on Facebook right now. We got 755 watching on Facebook. And then over on the Twitter machine, we got freaking 3,300. So we got 1 million people watching anyway. I don't know why they want to shut us up. I don't know why they try. I've never understood this. Like this whole censoring me thing and censoring Turtleboy, it just makes people want to watch it more. You know, like it just makes people want to watch him. Like, oh, what's this guy got to say? He got banned by, the hall monitors, the internet hall monitors. Let's figure out why. And it's not even political this time. Usually it's political. This time it's just like I called Julie Nagel or Katie. It was a fair question. I thought it was a fair question. I didn't say they're both pieces of shit, even though they are. But it is what it is. Yeah, killing me during. I mean, the Bruins are gonna come on. Are the Bruins winning right now? They were winning 1-0 before. I can't work around the Bruins and the Celtics, so we'd never get shows done. They're on every freaking day. So, and I hate to break it to you, the Bruins ain't doing shit this year. Even if they win this game, just like, come on, stop it. But anyway, maybe they'll win the whole thing. I don't know. Probably not. The odds seem low on that one. But anyway, so what was I going to say? Yeah. So if you're, by the way, if you're new here, if it's your first time, because we got a lot of new subs, my name is Aidan Kearney, not Kearney or Kearney, Aidan Kearney. Some people call me Clarence Woods Emerson. That's my Facebook name. You can follow me on there. I do a bus stop live from there every morning. On, old school turtle riders call me Uncle Turtleboy. I prefer doctor because if Jill Biden's a doctor, then so am I. And some people call me daddy. I won't hold it against you if you do. I'm definitely not going to make you call me daddy because that seems like something Brian Albert would do, quite frankly, and use words like silly. And we're just going to get all into Brian Albert, how fucking weird that guy is tonight. All right. So, yeah, you call me whatever you want to call me. Just make sure you're here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9. And if you're a new Rumble rat, make sure you smash that follow button, not subscribe, the follow button. We're almost up to 8,000 followers on there. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, just follow everything, man. Just keep hitting follow. Just never going to give up. Never, ever, ever going to give up. So I will try to, the comments that I can see on my end, I can't see the Rumble comments from the StreamYard. So I have to go to the Rumble to see them. So I'm going to be going back and forth between the Rumble rats and the Facebook and the Twitter comments. So we'll do the best we can. They were just fooling around, right? They were just fooling around, Deanna. They were just fooling around. A couple grown-ass men playing grab-ass, fooling around and being a little bit silly. Sometimes they like to be silly. So anyway, if you'd like to have your message read to the class, the Turtle Chat is still available. You just got to click. I think it's pinned to the top of the Rumble stream. Is it? Actually, I don't see it pinned to the top of the Rumble stream. Okay, I don't know if it lets us pin shit. But if it's on there, yeah, it's gone. Okay. Actually, can I pin it? Let me see if I can pin it. So it's on. I've pinned it to the top of the my Twitter account. So it's like pinned to the top. On Facebook, it's on the Clarence Woods Emerson and Turtleboy Facebook pages. And I'm going to go ahead and post it right now on Rumble. Oh, yeah. And I see people donating with the Rumble. Don't do that. I appreciate it. I can get that, but they fucking send a check like snail mail. Like, it's so dumb. So I think I've just pinned it. Wait, what did I just do? Did I just pin it? Okay, I think it's pinned over on Rumble. So there we go. All right, cool. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? Actually, do I have any turtle chats to read first? Or you can cash at me $$ Uncle Turtleboy. Got a couple to read here. All right. Before we get started. Where'd it go? Get at it earlier donated $10. Said how many times do you think Meatloaf woke up to some poor booze riddled poor soul doing the honey badger chewing off his arm while in her cave? Probably too many times to count. So thank you very much for that one. We also got hold on. Turtle chat. Oh, we got one from Anita, sends $20 and says, how coincidental, Jen McCabe is called JJ. I know. Can we just talk about how cringe that is for a moment? And by family and friends, and she's disgracefully wearing the Justice for JJ pins, probably for herself. This woman is demented. Cheers to you, Aidan, for continuing to expose these horrible people. Justice for John O'Keefe and free Karen Reed. Thank you very much. Tony sends $10. Says, is it me or does Auntie Bev's face and head resemble that of a midget or dwarf? Okay, now I can't unsee her. She does. She does. Auntie Bev kind of looks like little people. Like if you just saw her face, she kind of looks like little people. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But if you just saw her face, you might think she's little people. And I can't unsee that now. So thank you very much, sir, who donated that. Tony donated that. Again, if anybody else wants to donate, the link is at the top. Link is at the top of Rumble. It's posted on my Facebook page and posted on the top of my Twitter account. Do we have any Cash Apps? I don't want to miss any before we get started. And Tristin is quagmire. He really is. Patricia sent $20 earlier and said free Karen. And Danielle sent $5 earlier and said thanks for all the coverage and trash you've dealt with. Respect 100 emoji. Thank you. There has been a lot of trash, hasn't there? So, all right, cool. Let's jump right into it, folks. So we're going to start. We're going to go in order. So we've got a lot of catching up to. All these shows now are just going to be recaps. I've thought about doing more shows. You people would probably like that, wouldn't you? I haven't even had time to do any write-ups because I'm so busy these days. But I'm like, do we need to do a show every day or some shit? Like, it's crazy. Hold on. Okay. It's crazy. So we're going to just start with Brian Albert. We're going to start with his, we're not going to listen to the whole thing, obviously, but we're going to hit on some more entertaining parts. And Brian Albert the other day on Friday thought he was like Mr. Big Bad. I can fool anyone. I'm going to come in here with my Mr. Rogers look on and I'm going to fool some people. Well, he wasn't fooling Alan Jackson at all. He tried his fucking routine in there. It was really a clash of titans, if you will. And I'm pretty sure Alan Jackson won this round and won all the rounds because he got him lying within 5 seconds. So he lied about a lot of shit on there. And we're going to jump around to some of the better parts there where he really roasted Brian Albert. So let's get started.
Because I didn't really know him all that well.
You were far better friends with Brian Higgins than you were. Karen Reed's boyfriend ended up dead on your lawn. Do you think Officer Lent got it wrong?
Okay.
Perhaps, yes.
Here, we're going to start with this one.
Did you?
About his daughter. First lie. Well, not his first lie. Many lies. Yeah, Julie Nagel was just a fucking peach.
Yes. Show Mr. Lally.
I'm sorry.
All right, so okay.
Big boy.
He's
not a stud ball kid.
Right.
Bigger than me, significantly.
Yes.
Athletic guy.
Yes.
Played football.
Yes.
Good at football.
Yes.
It's
You testified that you went to the bathroom after you arrived home, correct?
Yes. After saying hi to everybody, I went to the bathroom.
Was that upstairs or downstairs?
I'm not sure. I have a bathroom downstairs. I end up not downstairs, but on that floor, and then up
to Michael Lang.
All
About
right.
7 a.m. Is that right?
Officer Lank was in the house at that time and speaking to all of us, really.
And you've admitted that you have known Michael Lang for many years. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you see that as a problem?
In what way?
Conflict of interest?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll let him have it. Did you see that as a conflict?
No.
You were asked who was present at the house that night, the night before, right?
Yes.
You stated the following people were at the house that night, quote, in response to Officer Lank's question, at some point during the time in question. That's how he phrased the question. Who was at the house at some point during the time in question? You understood that, right?
I don't recall his question, no.
You knew that he was asking who was in the house.
That's right, yes.
So you mentioned Brian Albert Jr.,
Yes.
your son. You mentioned Caitlin Albert, your eldest.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned Julie Nagel.
Yes.
You mentioned Brian Higgins.
Yes.
And then you added the detail that Caitlin Albert had left your house about 12:15 a.m., correct?
No.
No. Stop right there. He says no. Like, this is just so ballsy, like these people. It says it. Do we need to show you the report, Brian? Do we? Because I'm pretty sure we have it. Actually, I have it over here. Oh, let me reference it real quick. And these people are so ballsy. Check this out. This is Lanker, as Sean on the Golf calls him, Lanker's report. Last sentence. They advised me that their daughter, this is them interviewing the Alberts, their daughter, Caitlin, left the house around 12:15 and was picked up by her boyfriend, Tristin Morris. Says it right there. So there's only two like, I wondered how they were going to explain this one away. Like, how are they going to explain this lie away? And the answer is just say it wasn't me. It wasn't me. They're pulling a Shaggy. That nope, I never said that. But it, sir, it says right here you said that. It says right here you said that. Oh, it's just wrong. Lanker's lying. And Lanker's not here to deny it. So it is what it is.
You didn't say that?
I did not.
I may have just moving on.
So he goes and gets the report. And he's like, okay. Oh, he gets his reading glasses out.
I'm sorry. About conversation.
He reads it all over. Oh, he's really reading a lot. Yeah, he loves reading. It was chaotic.
Yes.
That's right. So you lie a lot when that happens.
Trevor, did you have an opportunity to review that portion of a report?
I did.
Did that refresh your recollection about conversations you had along with your wife with Officer Lank?
Yes.
Is it true that Officer Lank asked you and your wife who else was in the house that night aside from the names already mentioned? And the names mentioned were Brian Albert Jr., Caitlin Albert, Julie Nagel, and Brian Higgins, quote, who was a friend of Brian Albert Sr., end quote. Is that right?
That's what the report says, yes.
And then the report goes on to say, they advised me that their daughter Caitlin left the house around 12:15 a.m. when she was picked up by her boyfriend, Tristin Morris. Right?
That's what the report says, yes.
Yeah.
Do you think Officer Lank got it wrong?
Perhaps, yes.
Did you say that Caitlin left about 12:15?
No.
Did Nicole say in your presence that Caitlin left about 12:15?
She did not.
At any point, did Officer Lank ask you what time Caitlin left?
I don't recall him asking that. It was a very chaotic morning, and I don't remember him saying that.
So, in fact, if he wrote that sentence in the report, which you just read, he's just making that up.
Making shit
Objection, Your
up.
Honor.
Sustained.
I'll ask it a different way. But if that's what Officer Lank recalls, he's just wrong. Right?
Yes.
Anything else that he's wrong about in there?
I didn't read the whole report.
At no point, isn't it true that at no point during that interview did you admit or mention that Colin Albert had been at the house that night?
I don't believe I did, no.
At no point during that interview did your wife, Nicole, in your presence, admit or mention that Colin Albert was in the house that night?
No.
So did both of you conveniently forget that Colin was there?
Objection.
I'll ask it again.
Sustained.
Did you forget that Colin had been there?
No.
Is there a reason that you left his name out?
Because he wasn't there. He left when we got there. He wasn't there for the duration of the time that we had that night.
Of the
Except for
what?
the fact that you just testified you never saw him. Right.
Well, he said he was getting picked up, and then he was gone, so I assumed he left.
People say a lot of things, but you didn't see him leave, and you didn't see him in the regular floor of the house, according to you, correct?
Right.
Ground floor of the house.
Right. He was no longer in my house, so he left.
Well, you didn't search the house, did you?
No.
And you never saw him leave.
I didn't physically see him leave, no.
You also gave a statement to Michael Proctor later that morning. It was about noon, maybe it was in the afternoon, noon, 12:30, something like that.
Are you asking?
On the 29th, you later, after you spoke with Officer Lank, you later were interviewed by Trooper Michael Proctor over at Jim McCabe's house.
So yeah, if you're like, this is what I was like, this does not look good to a jury. When your answer is just, well, the cops are just wrong. It's a police report. It's just wrong. The jury knows he's lying. They know he's lying. But I guess this was his only play. This was his only play. And everybody asked this. He kept looking down. It was bizarre, huh? I mean, maybe I don't think he didn't seem to have many tells or anything like that. He's the best liar of all of them, but he's quite clearly lying about this. The jury isn't buying this. The police just made a mistake. He just forgot to put Colin Albert in. Like I said in today's stream, Colin Albert must sound like a mythical creature to these people because they keep everybody gets questioned about Colin Albert. And, you know, is he ever going to get brought up? After hearing his poetry, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Colin's name was never mentioned then either.
No, because Colin wasn't at the house for the duration of the night.
So when they said who's in the house, talked about Brian Albert, Caitlin Albert,
all right.
same time as John O'Keefe and Kearney, right?
Objection.
Sustained.
All right.
On January 29th, about 11:30 or 12, we talked about the fact that you were interviewed by Michael Proctor at the time, correct?
Yes.
The German Shepherd named Chloe.
Yes. Mix.
Describe that dog as being not great with strangers. Isn't that true? Bedroom. On that your bed inside that room, as relates to the windows.
All right.
I'm just trying to think of how to describe it. So the bed would be in the middle of the bedroom.
So that's the first thing he had to explain is why he lied about Caitlin Albert when she left. Why he didn't mention Colin Albert. Now he's got to explain why. The ultimate question: why didn't you come out of the house, my dude? How did you not come out of the house with all these cars everywhere? Oh no, there was no sirens, so he didn't wake up. Okay. Even I don't believe that you didn't wake up from all the lights. But okay. But what about the dog? The dog's going to wake up with all those people on the goddamn lawn, period. Especially your dog, because your dog is a bad dog, and your dog barks a lot and has a lot of drive. So what's up with that?
Okay, it's a bad question on my part because we haven't done that. 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning, right?
Right.
Where were you at 6:03 on the morning of January 29th, 2022?
I was sleeping in my room.
6 feet from that window.
Yes.
Was Nicole in bed with you?
Yes.
Had you taken any medication the night before?
No.
Were you on any sedatives?
No.
Sleeping pills?
No.
Were you wearing a sleep apnea machine?
No.
Were you wearing an eye mask?
No.
Were you wearing earplugs?
No.
You shortly thereafter became aware that 6 emergency vehicles, including fire engine, police cruisers, and unmarked police vehicles, a civilian SUV, were all parked in front of your house that morning, correct?
I'm not aware of what type of vehicles were parked there, no.
You seen photographs since this incident?
Of the vehicles up front?
Right.
No.
Are you aware that all of those vehicles had their engines running?
No.
Are you aware that all the emergency vehicles at least had their lights on, flashing lights?
Nope.
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Were you aware that there were first responders outside their vehicles chasing around your lawn?
Was I aware?
Were you aware your German Shepherd was 6 feet from the window?
Yeah,
correct?
so what about the dog?
I don't know that for sure.
That's where Matt was.
Well, that doesn't mean that's where she always is. She also sleeps in the closet area sometimes.
Oh, so now Chloe's in the closet.
Didn't say she was in the closet. I said she sleeps in the closet area sometimes.
Was she sleeping in the closet area that morning?
I don't remember.
Likelihood is she's sleeping on that mat 5 or 6 feet from that window, correct?
Judge, I don't know.
And your explanation, and by the way, we've already talked about this. Earlier that day, you've already indicated she was barking because she heard people and noises downstairs when you guys came in the house.
Yes.
And your explanation is that you and Nicole and Chloe, the German Shepherd, all slept through the entirety of that commotion on your front lawn.
Yes.
To be clear, you are a trained first responder.
Yes.
Yet during that entire event, after you were awakened, all that chaos on your front lawn, you never came out of your house to assist or investigate in any manner whatsoever, did you, Mr. Albert?
Once I was awakened?
Correct.
No.
We've talked about this a little bit, but I want to ask you a couple of other questions about the layout of the house. The house is sitting on top of a basement, correct?
Yes.
Or was at the time.
Yeah, so basically, that's kind of strike two to these people. If you're the jury and you're sitting there, you're like, okay, dude. Yeah, you seem real smooth yesterday, but you didn't come out of the house. I mean, that's what everybody says is the most alarming part about this is Brian Albert never came out of the house. Don't tell me you slept through it. Don't tell me, especially with the dog in the room. That's what makes it. They should have said they left the dog in the backyard or something. I don't know. Something. Well, that would be dog abuse, wouldn't it? Dog was in the basement. Put the dog in the basement. It was being bad dog. Kept the dog in the basement. That's where they put Brian Albert Jr. when he lets Brian down yet again. Yet again.
Describe how you get to the basement from inside the house if you come in the.
All right. And so let's see. We're going to fast.
Once you're down in the basement, by the way, it
was obviously how big it was, or
how would you do that?
there's a bulkhead door you can use.
Where does that bulkhead door come out?
It comes out
All right.
to the backyard
Then
right at the
they're going to
kitchen
play
area.
this video.
Pause. Do you recognize what's
I'm
stated in
pretty
that
sure
video up to that
Alan
point?
shot this video himself. Unlike 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗃, he
No.
went up to the front door and
That
just
looked
knocked
like
on
your
it.
basement door, although the bulkhead doors have been replaced. Different.
The whole thing looks different to me.
That's what I'm going to do.
All right, so check this out. This is what it looks like when you come out.
Now do you recognize what's stated in the video?
Yes.
What is that?
So that's my backyard.
Okay. And what area is over to the left over here?
A fence.
That's
The
a gate
The gate.
Okay. And what does that gate open up to?
to the front yard.
So the area that we're looking at right now,
Front yard.
the photographer is standing, is the backyard.
Yes.
Now, having seen that, notwithstanding the way that the bulkhead doors open, now do you recognize what was stated at the beginning of the video, which was that staircase?
Yes, the downstairs.
And by the way, I saw over in the Rumble chat from 13 Kings what I think happened. I don't know if you guys agree with this. I think Caitlin took the dog home. There's no way the dog was in the house that night. Like, I don't think they could risk the dog barking. They knew the dog would bark. They couldn't risk the dog barking. So they got to get there. I think Caitlin took the dog home. That's what I think. I don't know if you people agree with that or not. I think Caitlin took the dog home that night. That's just, I'm saying, I mean, that would be the smart thing to do if they were them. They got to get that dog out of the house. Plus, the dog probably had John's blood on it. The dog's got to get the dog out of the house. The dog's a problem. So, Alan Jackson shows this video because they can't say Brian Albert, they're not allowed to use the full third-party defense, right? They're not allowed to, like, just say Brian Albert killed him in the, the basement with the candlestick. They can't do that. So he's got to show is that it's possible. They got to show it's possible. Like, what would be the best way to do it? Because a lot of people, these McAlbert Mafia stands, they'll say, well, then why would they put the body on the front lawn? That's pretty stupid. No, it's actually the smartest thing they could do. I wouldn't say it's brilliant, but it's the best you can do in a tight bind like that, a tight spot. What else are you going to do? Chop it up? You going to chop him up? You want to get dirty? You want to chop his ass up? What then what? What are you going to explain to Karen the next day? Where's John? I don't fucking know. Maybe he's chopped up somewhere. I don't know. How are you going to explain to his mama where he's at? You can't. The only play, and it takes a cop to know this. Somebody like Brian Albert's just like, we're going to put him right back out there. We're going to say he never came in. Really simple story. His ass never came in. Sarah Levinson's probably sitting in a corner with crying her ass. Oh my God, my nursing career is going to go bad. And then Julie Albert's, hey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Julie Nagel, oh, it's going to be okay. Young lady, calm down. You'll be okay. And then it took them like an hour to calm their asses down. And Jen's like, oh, don't worry. Don't worry. You can. We're going to start a little group for his mother called Peggy's Angels. She'll never suspect us. She'll never suspect us. And, so they have to show the jury. They can't just be like, Brian Albert did it, because they have no proof of that. I don't know if Brian Albert's the one that killed him. It's not my job to find that out. Somebody killed him in the house. Wasn't me. Wasn't Karen Reed. Brian Albert seems fully capable. He's a liar. So they just got to show what Brian could do. And they got to get that in the mind of the jury. So they're like, they're not going to chop him up. They're not going to put him in a car. The Ford Edge didn't transport him to the front. The Ford Edge was used as a shield. This is what happened. I'm telling you, this is what happened. He can't say this is what happened, but he can the jury's watching this and they're like,
The window itself also looks different.
I get it.
Okay, so, but it is
the stairway, yes.
Going into the basement.
Yes.
Or coming out of the basement.
Yes.
So in other words, another way to put that is that represented the ingress and egress through the bulkhead to the basement.
Yes.
Okay, let's try and play this.
Here we go. Open that shit up. Oh, man. Look at that. Nothing but greenery. Like 25 feet of green. Come on over here. It's a little dump. Where was she parked? She was like right there? Okay, cool. You saw her parked there, right? Just dump them right there. Dump them. And then look. Boom. That's an easy walk. Park the Ford Edge right there. Block it up. Neighbors don't see shit. Boom. Done.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Done.
Did you recognize what was
Over.
depicted in the video as it continued to play?
Yes.
Describe that to the jurors, please.
It looked like the video was from walking from the backyard towards the front yard.
So the video started at the bulkhead door, turned toward the fence, through the fence, and right up toward the flagpole, correct?
Yes.
Is that an accurate representation?
That's why he did that.
No.
So what's the parameters of your investigative skills as you held that title of sergeant detective?
So my parameter.
All right, let's go.
Or to manipulate or destroy any data on that cell phone?
All right, so now we're going to
I
get
do
to the
not
cell phone
remember
part.
getting that letter. No.
I'm going to read this for the record, Your Honor, if I may.
All right, so they got a preservation order from Judge 𝗕𝗄𝗃, who, by the way, hates me. I thought 𝗃 was cool because he's the guy that issued the preservation order. He was like the anti-Kearney. And so I went into court for my situation, and I walked in there. I'm like, oh, nice, we got 𝗃. This guy's the man. He issued the preservation orders for the McAlberts to hold on to their phone. And then I got in there, and he's like, Mr. Bradel, can you please tell me what part of journalism involves a bullhorn and honking horns, Mr. Bradel? Oh, but anyway, I won't crap on him too much. He was a little salty that day, but he'll figure it out. In this case, he ordered preservation orders, so they can't destroy their phones. And they all did anyway. They were like, fuck this order. And let's play this.
Permission? Yes. Did you receive a letter that said, in essence, that that should be quoted as the following? Quote, you, Mr. Albert, are hereby notified that the defense in the case of Commonwealth versus Kearney, Norfolk Superior Court, criminal case number 22-117, has filed a motion pursuant to Mass. R. Crim P. 17 for the production of any cell phones that you used between January 28, 2022 and February 28, 2022, and or any data associated with those cell phones, period. The hearing on Ms. Reed's motion will be held on October 3, 2022 at 2 p.m. in courtroom 1 of the Norfolk Superior Court. You may be heard on the motion at that time. You are hereby placed on notice that these cell phones are the subject of pending litigation, and you must not alter, delete, destroy,
No.
were you told in any other capacity that you were not to get rid of or delete your cell phone? In other words, preserve your phone.
Subsequent to me upgrading my phone, I spoke with the DA's office. So after that, they told me via a phone call that was the case.
So your testimony is you never received the notice that I just read, but you did talk to the DA and he told you to preserve, you were on notice that you were to preserve your phone.
After.
I didn't want to say that, Mr. Albert. My question is, did you have the conversation with Mr. Lowry?
Yes.
Okay. When was that conversation, sir?
So I don't have the exact date of the conversation. I'm not sure.
Who did you talk to on the phone exactly? Was Mr. Lowry alone or was it a conference call?
It was a conference call.
Who else was on that conference call?
I believe Steve Nelson and other witnesses in the case were on the conference call.
Can you name those witnesses for us, please?
I believe it was Brian Higgins. I believe Jen McCabe, Matt McCabe, and maybe somebody else, but I can't recall.
Who initiated that conference call?
I believe it was somebody in the DA's office. So either Mr. Lally or Steve Nelson, somebody like that.
Did everybody just call into a central number, a conference line?
Yes.
And what exactly did Mr. Lally say to you during the course of that conversation about preserving your phone?
During the conversation, Mr. Lally said that the defense had filed a motion to ask for the phones to be preserved.
And
anything else?
That's what I remember him saying.
Did you volunteer? Oh my goodness, I just upgraded my phone last week.
Oops.
I don't have that phone anymore.
What a coincidence.
You didn't say that to Mr. Lally?
No.
You just took the information that he gave you and hung up the phone and went about your business.
Yes.
Without notifying him that the very phone that he had just ordered you to preserve had just been destroyed days earlier.
No, the phone wasn't destroyed. I upgraded the phone.
The data was destroyed, sir. Correct?
I did not destroy any data on any phone.
What do you
Mr.
mean?
Albert,
This is great.
I upgraded my phone.
I upgraded it.
you know that the phone is set back to factory reset before your new phone is handed to you, correct? Happens every time.
I don't know that.
So if you have personal
And
text.
by the way, Alan Jackson, the reason that she hired this guy is he is an expert at cross-examination at trial. That's his thing. And cell phones. This guy is the cell phone guy. He knows everything about cell phones. Check him out in the Kevin Spacey trial in Nantucket. That's how they got Heather Unruh and her husband and caught him lying, deleting shit. He knows all the tricks of the trade. So this guy upgrades his phone, right? And that he knows, like, that's a trick, I guess, to delete all your information. I guess. I don't know. I've never done that. When I get a new phone, I don't know, my data transfers over, but I guess not Brian Albert.
With your doctor, personal communications with Mr. Henning, your lawyer, you're just going to hand that to a pimply-faced kid at Best Buy and say, here's my phone?
A pimply-faced kid?
You know that data is destroyed when you upgrade your phone, right?
I think some things are come over across contacts, things like that. So I don't know that for sure.
You can back up your data, sir, but the phone data is destroyed for all purposes. It's factory reset, correct?
I don't know that.
Oh.
That's an iPhone.
Years.
How many times have you upgraded your iPhone?
Multiple times.
Every single time you upgrade it. You know the phone prior, the data is destroyed on it, correct?
Usually my contacts come over and my photos come over. So
that's a backup.
No, I don't think I have that on backup, but okay.
Irrespective, you didn't tell Mr. Lally that you had gotten rid of that phone.
I was not asked that, and I didn't tell him that.
I see. You felt like if you weren't asked that, you didn't need to volunteer it, even though the conference call was specifically about preserving your phone pursuant to a judge's order.
Again, the people deciding Karen Reed's fate are watching this. They're sitting right next to Brian Albert. And they're just like, dude, they all own a phone. And everybody gets a new phone. That's what happens, right? And you get all of your data transferred over. And Brian Albert specifically didn't do that. He didn't want anything transferred over. He wants delete everything. Complete new upgrade. Factory reset. Brand new life. Starting a whole new life digitally. That's shady. The day before the preservation order gets sent out. Oh, wow. What a coincidence. They're not stupid. Again, Karen Reed's not the one on trial here. The McAlberts are. They can't be found guilty. But they're just creating reasonable doubt for Karen Reed because people know they're shady.
Correct.
What was the question?
You didn't offer to Mr. Lally.
Oh, yeah, new carrier.
Phone that he was telling you had to be preserved due to a judge's order.
I did not.
And you didn't seek any advice from, I'm not asking you for the communications. You did not seek any advice from counsel at that time for those purposes.
I don't believe I did, no.
Yeah, just wondering.
Sure.
See, this was my question too. I'm like, isn't it, you can't just, I'm a little confused by this too. You can't just get rid of it, right? The cloud. I mean, I guess you can go in your cloud and delete everything in the cloud. I don't know. But I still thought that they could get it. Like Verizon, I assume they can just get anything. I don't know. I could be wrong. Oh, it's in the cloud and the feds have it. The feds have all his messages. That's the thing. They ended up getting everything. So you're right. It is in the cloud. It is in the cloud because they got it all. They got it all. This dude came in with the plan. Okay. Then he has to go get his lawyer. Okay. And he comes back with his lawyer.
7. Has filed a motion pursuant to Mass R. Crim P. 17 for the production of any cell phones that you used between January 28, 2022 and February 28, 2022, and or any data associated with those cell phones. The hearing on Ms. Reed's motion will be held on October 3rd, 2022 at 2 p.m. in courtroom 1 of the Norfolk Superior Court. You may be heard on the motion at that time. You are hereby placed on notice that these cell phones are the subject of pending litigation, and you must not alter, delete, destroy, or in any way manipulate any of the electronic data associated with the cell phone at issue. You received input. You received that notice on either the 23rd or the 24th. Is that right?
I did not.
Honor, I would pose a stipulation. I spoke with counsel off the record, if I may.
You both have a stipulation that I haven't seen?
Just determined I'm happy to approach it.
Why don't we approach quickly?
Okay, maybe we approach. Okay. Back to the thing.
Where's your phone?
My phone was upgraded and traded in for a new phone.
Your phone was upgraded and traded in for a new phone?
Yes.
Okay. Another way to say that is you traded your phone in and got rid of it, correct?
I traded my phone and upgraded it. Yes.
When did you get rid of your phone ending in 0888?
I upgraded my phone in September, third week of September, maybe around 22nd.
The 22nd of September?
I believe so. I can't be sure the exact date.
So according to you, you got rid of the phone that was the subject of a court order preservation.
Yeah, fuck
the
it.
Day before.
Day before.
It was ordered preserved.
That is good luck.
Right.
Yeah, good time.
Rephrase the question, please.
Oh my God, he's
order,
such a piece of
order
shit.
Is dated September 23rd.
He thinks he's in charge. He thinks
it was
he's
just
in charge.
stipulated that on the 23rd or 24th, you were then sent a notice to preserve the phone. And your testimony is on the 22nd, the day before this all happened, you upgraded your phone and got rid of it in total, correct?
I upgraded my phone on and around the 22nd, yes.
And you knew that all of the data on that phone would be factory reset and destroyed.
Objection.
Do you know that, sir?
I do not know that.
How many times have you upgraded your phone in your life? iPhone?
I'm not sure. 4 or 5 times, maybe.
You're aware that when you turn a phone in and you upgrade it, the phone that you turn in, that data is, there's no data left on the phone. I'm not supporting you the day before.
What good timing.
Correct.
Great.
Rephrase your question.
Oh my God.
Are you claiming that you got rid of your phone on the 22nd?
I upgraded my phone around that.
Whenever he's caught in something where the answer, he can't come up with a good answer, where he knows he has to like come up with some crazy lie. He just goes, rephrase the question. Acts like he's like a serious person, deep in thought, and not just some piece of shit liar, which is all he really is.
I'm not sure if that's the exact date, but yes.
So it could have been after the 22nd.
I don't think it was after the 22nd.
Could have been the 24th?
No.
Could have been the 25th?
No.
So you're absolutely sure that you could not have upgraded your phone and got rid of it anytime after the 23rd when this judge ordered that it be preserved?
No.
Because you know that if you got rid of that phone after you had been notified that you were ordered by a court to preserve it, you'd be committing a felony.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Yeah, how about that?
So you now claim that you got rid of the phone on September 22nd, 2022. Hours before you were ordered to preserve it. That's your testimony, correct?
Yes.
Is that just a coincidence?
September 4th was my birthday. The phone was broken and failing. I had planned on getting a new phone, and that just happens to be the day that I got it.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Was that a coincidence?
Happy birthday.
Objection.
Sustained.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Don't.
Your phones, respectively.
All right. So
We
we're
may
going to
have. I just don't. I can't remember that conversation
So
specifically.
this is just the back and the forth, and the jury's watching this, and they're just like, this motherfucker's lying. Anyone who has a phone just knows he's being evasive and lying. Like nobody's buying the good cop. And if he's a cop and he's lying about shit, just like think of what the others will. They're not stupid. They're like, all these motherfuckers are lying, and they're getting exposed as liars. So now he talks about getting silly. We're going to skip this part because it's just cringe. Explaining why he's like horsing around with Higgins and playing grab ass. He keeps saying they're being silly. Oh.
I don't know. I don't know that to be a
silly
fact. I
dude.
just know I didn't answer the phone call. I missed the call.
Okay,
Yes.
now the good part.
35 seconds, a couple of days. You remember every single one of those calls?
No.
Yeah, Coach?
Yes.
Frame that was close. So I didn't say that. No.
At 6:30 a.m.
Yes.
So if your kids need to get a hold of you, why? Every single one on each.
We may have hit one on each in the house.
All right.
Put your phone on your nightstand.
No.
Where'd you put your phone?
The phone was in bed with me.
Here we go.
So your testimony is that you get in bed after being on a road trip all day long, then at restaurants, at bars, then at a get together at your house. And when you go to bed, you don't charge your phone.
No. I had the phone in the bed with me.
Why would you have a phone in bed?
We have 5 kids. And if somebody was trying to call or if I needed to reach them, it's just kind of a habit I do. I put my reading glasses and my phone in bed with me.
So he was fucking his wife on top of the phone and the glasses. Because remember, he butt dialed. How strong are his glasses? How strong are his glasses? We did the Raggedy Ann. I fucked a doll a few weeks ago. I don't know if you guys remember this. If you're new here, go back and watch it. When we found out about that, he made love. He was saying he butt dialed Higgins while he was making love to his wife. We did a scientific experiment. I fucked a doll on this show hard. And I put the phone below me, and I didn't butt dial anyone. No butt dials, because my code's in there, my passcode, and you can't do it. I tried, but you can't do it. He must have some strong glasses.
And you don't charge it.
Sometimes I charge it, but not as a routine. No.
So you're worried about having your kids out. You might need to get a hold of dad. So you make sure that your phone is nice and close, but it can just run out of batteries.
Well, if it's dying, then I'll put it in the charger. But if not, I just leave it on the bed.
And what about that night?
That night, the phone was on the bed.
How do you know?
I remember the phone being on the bed.
You have a specific recollection from 2.5 years ago about the state of the battery charge on your phone, such that you know it was in your bed that night.
No, I just know as a routine, I keep my phone in the bed with me.
So you just said. It depends
When
on
do
whether
you
or not
charge
batteries
it?
are charged, so not charged.
My answer is that sometimes I, of course, charge my battery.
Yeah.
But I sleep with the phone in my bed.
Every single night?
Yes, mostly every night.
I thought you just said 4 questions ago. It depends on whether or not the phone
Like,
is in charge.
nobody
Sometimes
believes
you go to
this.
bed, sometimes you put it on the charger.
If the phone needs to be charged, I charge it. But I sleep in bed with my phone.
Mr. Albert, did your phone need to be charged that night?
I don't remember if it did, but I slept in bed with the phone.
You've been on a road trip most of the day, correct?
Yes.
You've been out at bars that night, correct?
Mhm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
You weren't charging your phone. We saw the video. You weren't charging your phone at the bar.
Right.
So when you got home, clearly put your phone on a charger. Didn't you?
But I did not.
So if your kids need to get a hold of you, why are you
All right, so the phone.
35 seconds. Does that sound familiar?
All right.
Yes.
So again, these are
35 seconds is in the bed with you. Your keys, your wallet, and the other
All
pocket
right.
items.
No.
now they're going to
Just the
talk
phone
about the
glasses.
infamous butt dial.
Yes.
And Nicole's phone.
He's got to explain this
Yes.
one.
right between the two of you.
Usually, yes.
He's at a pretty shitty explanation of why he, got rid of his phone, why he didn't come outside the house. I mean, these are bad excuses. Why Lank's report says that the Lank's report, that's the best excuse. He's just like, wasn't me. Didn't say that. At least the other ones, he's got some sort of explanation. That one's, he's like, nope. I don't know why it says that. No clue.
What about that night?
Yes.
Sir, did you make any phone calls after you went to bed between the hours of 1:45
Here we
a.m.
go.
and 6:30 a.m.?
Yes.
Who did you call?
I inadvertently called Brian Higgins.
What time?
I don't recall the exact time. After 2.
2:22 and 35 seconds. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Did you speak to Brian Higgins at any point between 1:45 a.m. 6:30 a.m. at night?
No.
You say you inadvertently called him at 2:22 in the morning.
Yes.
How did you inadvertently call him?
Well, I don't know because it was inadvertent.
So I have to explain that.
Well, it's kind of like a butt dial.
I like a butt dial.
Butt dial.
Right. How long have you used an iPhone?
A long time.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into the butt dial gate. I don't know if I've ever butt dialed anyone ever, because I have a passcode on my phone, man. It's like, that's the whole purpose of it. I mean, I guess also the purpose of it is, you don't want people going through your shit, but also, like, I don't want butt dial. I don't know. But these people butt dial a lot. They butt dial, they butt answer, they butt everything. And so he's got to explain. He told police that he didn't make any calls between 1:30 and 6:30 a.m. But the federal investigation that clearly got his phone showed that he called Brian Higgins at 2:22 a.m. Brian Higgins had left the house at 1:30 a.m. to go to the Canton Police Department to establish an alibi. At 2:22 a.m., they spoke on the phone for like 17 seconds. And he's got to have an explanation for that, for why he told police earlier that never called him. So it goes to the butt dial. But Alan Jackson's not going to take that answer lying down. He needs an explanation of, like, let's walk through the butt dial.
As a matter of fact, you've been asked this question before, haven't you?
Yes.
Answer my question. You knew what I was going to ask you.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll withdraw. You indicated previously at a different hearing in June of 2023 that you were, quote, hanging out with your wife, and you must have butt dialed Mr. Higgins.
Hanging
correct?
out.
Yes.
At 2:22 and 35 seconds on January 29th, 2022, correct?
Yes.
You were asked how that could have happened, much like I just asked how that could have happened, right?
Yes.
And in that hearing, you said, quote, I'm not totally sure. Similar to what you just said here.
Yes.
By the way, the hearing that they're talking about, whenever they mention like a hearing where they can't say where the hearing was or who the hearing's with, they're talking about the federal grand jury. So he had no explanation to the federal grand jury about that phone call. None.
And here you added that it could have been a butt dial.
Yes.
You were then called back to that same hearing, but at a different date, an ongoing hearing, right?
Yes.
That was in July of 2023, correct?
Yes.
You then changed your testimony and said, and I don't mean to be indelicate, your testimony was then that you were in an intimate situation.
Changed
that way,
it, yeah.
With Nicole at the time. And that's how you butt dialed Brian Higgins, correct?
I don't believe I said that's how I butt dialed Brian Higgins.
That's the time.
I think I said there was a time frame that was close. So I didn't say that, no.
Okay. Okay. So he didn't actually say that he fucked Nicole so hard that she called Brian Higgins on his ass. That he said it was in the time frame of that. So he may have been pounding her during that time frame. Maybe he came a little earlier. I don't know. He's a quick shooter, Brian Albert. That's what they say around town. He's a quick shooter. So it might have ended a little before that. I don't know.
You said was you were in an intimate situation with Nicole at the time that the butt dial occurred, correct?
I'm not sure if you have something you can read me or show me.
Is it your testimony? Let me just ask. Is it
Sure.
your testimony that you and your wife were in the middle of some sort of sexual or intimate situation, and that's what caused you to butt dial the phone at that time at 2:22 a.m.?
Objection.
System. I'm going to show you an exhibit briefly. Oh, sorry. Yes. May I approach you? Yes. I'm not gonna mark this one.
Let's.
So I just want to find out.
Here we go.
Recollection. Look at lines 11.
I love the glasses. Like, who's he? Brian, who do you think you're fooling, dude, with the glasses? Stop it. Mr. Rogers motherfucker. Stop it. Nobody's buying this. Like, he's too strong with this whole thing. I couldn't beat up anyone. Oh, my fighting days, maybe a long time ago, but those days are over. Look at me. I wear V-neck sweaters, and I wear my reading glasses like a crotchety old man who doesn't like it when people go on his lawn. And I have ample amounts of Werther's Originals on my coffee table. Stop it. Like, who does this guy think he's fooling? Yep, you're reading it, aren't you?
Yeah, Coach?
Yes.
Does that refresh your recollection that you indicated at the other hearing?
Just the first part of that.
The other hearing, grand jury.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Federal grand jury.
Isn't it true that at the other hearing you indicated that at or around the 222 time frame, you and your wife were in bed together in an intimate situation?
Yes, around that time, I think it reads.
Stop it, Brian.
May I approach briefly, a couple of days? You remember every single one of those calls?
No.
Do you think it would refresh your recollection to look at a log of those calls during that time frame? If we're going to discuss those?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
All right. So he's going to look at his call log here. What's going on?
May I, Your Honor? Yes. That's 2 pages worth of documents. If it refreshes your recollection.
Right. I'm not going to be able to read it right now. I'll do it as you ask.
Correct. Yeah. No, you don't need to read it right now. Just wanted to have it in front of you.
If these exact records are not.
All right. And you've acknowledged that at least the first page, these are your phone records for the number ending 0888, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And these are call records from January 29th
Yes.
at 2:22 and 35 seconds in the morning, correct?
Yes.
Whose number ends in 5421?
According to this, it's Brian Higgins.
The call at 2:22 and 35 seconds appears to be 1 second in length. And that's from you to him, correct?
It says 1 second.
That would be the initial call from you to him, the one that you claim is a butt dial. Is that right?
Yes.
Did that call roll to voicemail? And then you immediately hung up?
No, I don't recall if it's, I don't know.
So according to you, it was a butt dial that went to his phone and somehow lasted 1 second.
Right.
Okay. Then there's a second call. If you look at the second line down, there's a second call at 2:22 and 52 seconds, 17 seconds later, correct?
Yes.
That call is actually from Brian Higgins to you, isn't it?
All right. So the call log in the federal investigation, again, and by the way, they cannot mention the federal investigation to the jury. So they have this, the fact that this information came out in front of a federal grand jury cannot be mentioned. They just have to say the other court proceeding where we weren't present and the Commonwealth wasn't present. So the jury has no idea about this, supposedly, allegedly. I find it hard to believe no one in the jury knows, but they're not supposed to know it. And the call logs show that Brian Albert called Brian Higgins and he answered for 1 second. Maybe he answered and he said, "Call you right back." Boom. He calls him back. Higgins calls Albert back and they talk for 17 seconds. He has to have an explanation for that besides just not but dial, but answer. He but answered it. That's a first.
Yes.
And that call doesn't last 1 second. That call lasts 22 seconds, correct?
Yes.
Obviously, you know how long 22 seconds is.
Oh,
You know how long 22 seconds lasts?
Is that a shot at him? Is that a shot at Brian Albert? I just picked up on that. Is that a shot? He goes, obviously, you know how long 22 seconds is. Oh, I bet he does. Oh, I bet he does. He's a quick shooter. He's a quickest shot in the academy. Quick shot, Albert. Oh, he knows all about 22 seconds. Okay. So he's got to explain that. I just picked up on that. That was on purpose, huh? That's hilarious. I didn't even. Oh, that was great. I missed that the first time. I was sitting outside the courtroom just waiting to get in. I didn't want to scare Brian.
Yes.
So according to your phone records, you placed a call to him, and then 17 seconds later, he returned a call to you that lasted 22 seconds. Correct?
That's what the records reflect, yes.
When you woke up in the morning, you obviously checked your phone. Did you not?
I don't know if I did.
Are you telling this jury that the call that came into your phone was a missed call, or did you answer it?
I did not answer it.
So it would have been a missed call.
I just know I didn't answer the call.
So it would have been a missed call.
I don't know. I don't know that to be a
Again, this and 𝗵𝗵𝗱𝗃's going to have to, and McAlbert was the same way. Her call log showed her getting a call from 𝗵𝗵𝗱𝗃 at 6:07 and 6:08 that she answered 7 and 9 seconds. What was McAlbert's explanation for this? Getting that call. Was it me? Don't know. Must have gone to voicemail. But wait a minute. The call said answered. If the call is answered, then by definition, it can't go to voicemail. The only voicemails are all from unanswered calls. That's why you get the voicemail. If somebody answers it, you don't get the voicemail. So what gives? Like she just goes, well, I didn't answer. I don't know why. I don't know why those documents. I don't know why that cell phone data report says I answered the phone. I didn't. I don't know why Michael Lank's report says that I said that. I didn't. I don't know why it says I called Brian Higgins at 2:22 a.m. and talked to him for 17 seconds. I didn't. That's their answer. Must be a mistake. Dude, like we have been waiting this old. Are these the bombshells they told us were coming?
In fact, I just know I didn't answer the phone call. I missed the call. Yes.
That's what I mean.
Right.
You missed the call.
Right.
It did something on your phone and you didn't answer. What do you mean?
Right.
Okay. And again, you're using an iPhone.
Yes.
If you butt dialed Brian Higgins and he called you back and you didn't answer, you would have a very bright red missed call in your call log.
Yeah, you would.
Objection.
Do you know that?
I don't know that.
Have you ever missed a call on your iPhone before?
Yes.
And when you go to your call logs, it says missed call in red, correct?
Yeah, I
Your
get
wife
them all
calls
the
you,
time.
didn't tell you.
I don't think I've ever noticed that it's in red, and so no, I don't know that to be true.
You're certainly alerted to the fact that it's a missed call. That you missed a call, correct?
If I were to go back and look at my incoming calls, it would probably say missed call, yes.
And of course, if we asked you to show us your phone and show that that was a missed call, you couldn't do that because you've gotten rid of that phone, correct?
Objection.
Did you tell anyone in law enforcement that next day that oddly Brian Higgins was calling you at 2:22 a.m. and you missed a call?
No, I wasn't aware of that call.
If a call went to voicemail on your phone, you would get that voicemail, correct? You get notice of it.
If I checked my voicemails and there was a voicemail, I would get it, yes.
That's my question. Did you get a voicemail?
So there was no voicemail. There was no missed call. And he didn't answer the call, even though the report shows that he answered the call. He's just, I don't like, dude, the jury's not buying this. The jury's listening to this and they're like, this motherfucker is a liar. Why would he lie about that? Like for what? Their head's starting to spin, like all of us. And we're all just like, well, he's not on trial. He looks like he could kill someone. Not gonna lie, wouldn't want to fight that guy in a back alley. But why is he lying? Why would anyone lie? The guy who's lawn a dead cop shirt up on is telling all these lies that, like, come on, bro. Nobody's buying that. And he's telling it anyway with a straight face. And he wants us to take him seriously because he's dressed like Mr. Rogers. No, stop it, son. Stop it, young man.
Voicemail from Brian Higgins?
No.
Which means he didn't leave a voicemail.
Right.
It suggests that you answered the call, correct?
Objection.
Let's talk for a second about this butt dial. You went to bed and you closed and your phone was, you closed and locked your phone, correct?
Yes.
I don't want you to tell me what the passcode is, Mr. Albert. That's important. I want to make sure you understand. I'm not asking you to tell me what the passcode is, but at the time, was your passcode a 4-digit or 6-digit passcode?
4, I believe.
And that locks the phone when it's not in use, correct?
The phone.
And by the way, I saw a comment from Jack on the Rumble Rats, and this is a great point. Didn't he say earlier that he sleeps with the phone in the bed so he doesn't miss a call from his kids? So he doesn't miss a call. That's the whole purpose of having the phone in the bed. And now he's saying he missed a call. Like I thought you slept with the phone so you don't miss a call. Apparently this guy just doesn't like to sleep through the night. He wants to be on call 24/7. Okay. Okay. And now they're going to talk about here. What are they talking about?
Will lock
The lock.
After it's not used for a while.
You
I don't know
have a
the exact
lock on
timing
it.
of it.
You're exactly right, Mr. Albert. I said it back. The phone automatically locks. You have to use the 4-digit passcode to unlock it, correct?
Well, no, I also have face recognition too, so we can open that way without any passcode.
We'll get to that in a second. The phone locks when it's not in use, correct?
Yes.
And then to make a call, once you open the phone, either through facial recognition or through the passcode, then you have to tap on the phone app in order to open up the phone app, correct?
All this shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Once you open up that
I
phone
believe
app,
so.
there are only 3 ways that you can initiate a phone call. Favorites, recents, and contacts, correct?
I don't know that.
Yes, you do.
If you tap on a contact,
Yes, you do.
that opens up the contact page, the contact app, right? You know that.
Yes.
It's where all your contacts are.
Yes.
They're alphabetized.
Yes.
You have to either scroll through or do a search and type in the name of the person you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't do that, did you?
No.
Okay.
If you tap favorites, if you have favorites listed, there's a list of favorites. You have to scroll through and tap the one that you want to call, right?
Yeah. So he's explaining all the ways.
I think so, yes. I'm
could
not
butt
totally
dial.
aware of that, but
How could
And if
you
you tap
butt
on
dial?
recents, those are the recent calls that you've had, you've either received or made. And of course, you have to tap on the contact in the recents list that you want to call, right?
yes.
And then, of course, you would have to tap again to end whatever call you initiate, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, you don't just say goodbye.
a good point.
You got to say goodbye and hang up. You got to tap it to hang it up.
Right.
Right. Right.
So would you agree, from a closed and locked phone, there is no physical mechanism by which a person can hit one button and make a phone call?
Objection.
Like, why? Why is that?
Are you saying that from your closed and locked phone, you inadvertently tapped your phone one time and that initiated a butt dial to Brian?
Objection.
Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not what I'm saying.
Tell me what you're saying.
I-
How did you butt dial Brian Higgins?
I don't know.
4:32 in the morning?
I don't know that the phone was locked. I could have been looking through my phone. I butt dial people often and make inadvertent calls.
Oh,
I could
often.
have hit a last call from him
He's
by
not-
accident,
He often
thus
butt
calling
dials.
his phone.
So you were actually awake and on your phone at the time.
I was awake and I could have been looking at my phone.
So Mr. Albert,
Dude, no one's
how
buying
did you miss the
this.
call 17 seconds later?
Well, my wife was in the room with me and we were hanging out and I never got the second call from him. So I'm not sure what time he called. I'm not sure what I was doing at that second, but I don't know.
But it didn't go to voicemail.
Well, I didn't get a voicemail from him. No.
So it didn't go to voicemail.
Well, I don't know that don't know that it didn't go to voicemail. I just know that I didn't receive a voicemail from him.
That
So
it
if you-
didn't go
I
to.
mean, we're all guessing here, but I mean, he could have called voicemail.
We're not all guessing
Well,
here.
you are because
We're
you don't
not-
know if he
we're not all
left the voicemail or
guessing here.
didn't, or at least got voicemail and then hung up the phone.
I think one of us is trying to guess.
Objection, Your Honor.
This is Steve. You know what? I want to see Councilman Saba.
Sassy. So again, we're not going to listen to all his testimony, but all you need to know about this guy is that these are lies, and the jury is sitting there and they're not fooled by the Mr. Rogers routine. Not happening. Roided up Mr. Rogers. Not going to happen. So, you know, if the jury doesn't believe the story, nothing makes freaking sense here. Nothing makes sense. Okay. All right. Let me read a couple turtle chats here before we go on to the next contestant. 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗂𝗍 sends $25 and says, I'm running in the Preakness Saturday and mommy is donating 50% of her winnings to Turtleboy. Oh, thank you very much, 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗂𝗍. Aaron sends $10 and says, how come people are testifying they left from front door when someone testified Higgins plowed? If all the cars pulled into the driveway to pick people up, wouldn't they use the side door closer to the driveway? They said people are saying they left the front door. I just assumed everyone went in the side door in that house. It didn't seem like the steps are never even shoveled. If you look at other pictures of the house to the front door. So that's interesting. Thank you. Kim sends 25 and says the trial just gets better and better. Tristin comes off as a drunk jock. By the way, yeah. Wait till you meet him in person. He's real pleasant. He's a real charmer. This Tristin. Ask me. Who never grew up and has a high maintenance girlfriend who stresses him out. Great job, Turtleboy, as always. Thankful for all you have done. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. All of that is true about Tristin. The Last Clam says $25 and says, you're making history, Unc. Keep up the amazing work. How do you think the defense is going to bring in the third-party culprit and the feds? Oh, I think they've done it many times already. Like, how they're all this stuff about the federal grand jury. They just don't mention it's the federal grand jury. They're bringing in all the stuff, like with Albert. We just saw a bunch of it brought in. We just saw the third-party insinuation. That's what the whole video was about his backyard. Like, that's a third-party insinuation. So there you go. Thank you very much, Last Clam. Danielle sends $10, says, have you ever been sitting around a table at home with the lights on while it's dark outside and tried to look out? That's a good point. It's a reflection of the interior. You literally can't see outside. It's a great point. Let alone a blizzard coming down. Black blob my ass. She said she saw that when she was outside, though. She couldn't see shit. We'll get to her. We'll get to her. Jeff sends $10 and says, maybe Brian Albert was getting pegged by Coco. Maybe. And maybe that's why he butt-dialed Higgins. Perhaps. Luca from Baldwin sends $5 and says, what up, Turtle Boy? Who's going to be the knockout put punch in the defense? The Celebrate data? The accident reconstruction expert? I would say the accident reconstruction expert. No. Actually, Lucky Loughran is going to be the best witness in this whole case. Because he's going to say, I've talked to Lucky Loughran. You guys forget that. I interviewed him. That guy has never been more sure that John O'Keefe's body was not on the front lawn at 2:30 winning. And he gets offended when anyone suggests that, maybe you just didn't see it. No. He doubles down hard. So that's who I think. Thank you. Do we have any more turtle chats? Another one here from Marco sends $25, says, just starting the stream after the Bruins. I saw the YouTube ban, downloaded Rumble. Fuck Julie Nagel and Katie McLaughlin. They're both huge pieces of shit. Yes, they are. And they're not going to kick me off Rumble for saying that because Rumble's cool. Rumble's cool. All you Rumble stillskins out there. Do we have a Cash App here? Well, yes, we do. From Patricia. No, that's from earlier. Kerry sent $20 and said, Jessica Machado is being investigated by the state police for jury tweets. That's true. That is a fact. So we didn't even get into that. She tweeted out something about she's observing the jury. She's like, German number 4 seems really smart and looks like Mr. Magoo or something like that. You can say what jurors look like. You can't, it's not doxing them. A lot of people look a certain way. And she said that, that's called reporting. And Grant apparently went and called Jennifer Donahue, who's in charge of the press pool. And then she turned that information over to the state police, who are now investigating her for that. I shit you not. Just in case. And when I talked to her about it today, I'm like, yeah, you know why they're doing that? Because you are taking an anti-Commonwealth position. You are not blindly believing. You're not Gretchen Voss. You're not Grant Smith-Ellis. And Grant Smith-Ellis, by the way, he assaulted somebody. He assaulted her on the court downstairs. He's being charged with a crime. He's going to be summoned to court for it. He thinks I know deep down inside, he knows he's being summoned for this. He's being charged for this. Unlike the things he says about me, which are all fake and aren't happening, he is being charged with assault and battery on a woman. On a woman. That's going to be his legacy. I have no charges for assault and battery on a woman because everyone knows I've never done that. That's why the charges were dropped the day I got out of jail. Grant is not going to have that sort of, luck. He's not going to have that happen to him because he did assault a woman. And I am going to be a witness against him in court. And I can't wait to tell my story about what I saw. And if he even attempts to say anything to me, to cause me emotional harm, I will be reporting him to the police for felony witness intimidation if he wants to catch a charge for that too. We're not playing around anymore, period. So thank you very much. Okay, next one. Next, is that the last turtle chat? Oh, no, that was a Cash App. Thank you, Carrie. Leanne sent $10 and says, Plevin is the Wish version of silly Brian Albert. He really is. They look alike. J Company sends $20 and says, if you do extra streams, team up with the Glare. I love the Glare. Definitely want to go back on his stream soon. LTL invited me on too. Definitely need to do more. Okay, cool. If anyone else wants to donate, the link to the turtle chat is pinned to the top of my Twitter account and Facebook page, and it should be pinned to the top of the Rumble live chat as well. Okay, let's go on. We're just going to briefly do Brian Albert Jr. because we all have the same thoughts. He's the tallest guy in the room, the biggest guy in the house, and no one's ever accused him of murder. He's Brian's oldest son, and we never hear about him. We see all these pictures of Brian and Colin. standing next to each other looking like tough guys. Because Colin is the son that Brian never had. You know, Brian Albert Jr., he even gave him his name. Brian Albert Jr. And you never hear about this guy. You never see pictures of like him and Brian Albert Jr. doing the fist thing. And now you know why. Brian Albert Jr. wasn't the captain of the football team. No, or the captain of the basketball team. No. He was the captain of the glee club and the theater club. That's like, I'm guessing. So we'll let's listen to some Brian Albert Jr.
Or not. So that was my plan. And then a few days before, that's when we found out that the snowstorm was actually going to happen, because, you know, we were there for a few minutes while Colin was there. So I would say probably around 11:10, a few select people left the house to go home. So at that point, it was just me, Colin, Julie Nagel, and Sarah Levinson at the house until my parents arrived.
Your father, your mother, your sister, and Mr. Higgins arrived at the home. Where did they congregate within the home?
In the same area that we were, in the dining room, in the kitchen area. My mom got home, and I know she went right to cleaning.
Auntie
She likes to
JJ.
clean. So she was in the kitchen picking up. And yeah, we were all just in that one area.
And following their arrival back at the home, who, if anyone else, showed up at your home that particular evening?
And then I would say maybe 10 minutes later, my auntie JJ, well, her name is Auntie Jen, but I call her JJ.
Did you observe?
Auntie JJ, stop it.
No door. No.
Tristin Morris.
I want to get to the good part.
This interview took place at your attorney's office, correct?
Yes.
Your sister Caitlin Albert was also present, correct?
She was there for some time, but she wasn't when I was interviewing. She wasn't in the room with me. No.
And that was also the first time they had spoken with your sister as well about these events, correct?
Stop it.
Objection.
Stop it.
And to be clear, the Massachusetts State Police only interviewed you after you were called to testify before a grand jury.
Objection.
Separate proceeding, correct?
Objections.
I want to direct your attention to your testimony regarding your cousin Colin Albert. You testified today that Colin Albert called you to come to the house, correct?
I believe so. He did. Yeah.
Do you recall some prior testimony in which you said that you all had exchanged Snapchats about what you were doing that night in the house?
Oh, yeah,
no, I don't believe I said that. I said for him to know that I was.
All right.
Your dad go upstairs to get Chloe to take her out.
But that would have been like as soon as he got home. Right in front of the driveway a little bit, I saw a truck. I saw my friend Julie at the passenger door.
Okay.
Correct.
Yep.
Where were those trucks?
Just along the side towards the driveway along this way, going up towards the flagpole.
And you viewed those tracks kind of leading up towards the flagpole, correct?
Yes.
So you'd agree that the visibility and lighting in front of the house was good enough that you were able to see tire tracks.
This is it.
Sure.
Like, why did he feel the need to say this part? That he saw tire tracks? Like, that's the next logical question is, so you could, again, this is the house behind me, right? This thing. So he's looking out one of those windows downstairs and he looks outside, and somewhere where I'm standing here, he sees tire tracks in 1 inch of snow. He just sees tire tracks, but he doesn't see John O'Keefe's dead body lying there. Somehow that didn't cross his line of vision. He didn't see it somehow. This guy's watching the window. Why didn't he just say I didn't look out the window? I don't get this part. Why add all these details? Oh.
But you did not see a 220-pound man lying in the snow in your front yard.
Objection.
Was that something that you saw, sir?
No, I didn't see that.
There you go.
Who was in the house the second time that you looked out the window?
It would have been my mom, my dad, Brian Higgins, my sister, Julie, Sarah. I mean, I know he left my house at some point. I just don't know exactly when it was.
You were asked specifically at the time that you looked out the window, who was there? And you said, I'm not sure if Brian Higgins was there.
Yeah.
Isn't that correct?
Okay, if I said that, yes, because I was not sure. I'm still not sure that if he was there or not.
So you're not sure whether Brian Higgins was there when you looked out the window, correct?
No, I'm not sure.
You have no independent recollection as you sit here today where Mr. Higgins was when you looked out the window, correct?
No.
You also didn't recall Mr. Higgins ever saying goodbye to you or your group, correct?
I believe that's true, yeah.
All right.
There's actually a wall that kind of blocks the dining room, the stairs.
All right.
Slide save to 12.
About it, pretty decent. I mean, considering, yeah.
What members of your family have you discussed this with?
My parents, my sister.
All right.
Occasionally my.
So we get the point there. This guy, the whole purpose of him and all these other guys is, I don't even know why they're bringing him up. Why? Like, what value did Brian Albert Jr. have to convicting Karen Read for murder, convincing the jury that Karen Read's a murderer. Like, if you're Adam Lally, what did you hope to accomplish with that? He didn't see anything. He didn't see a body. He didn't hear anything. He wasn't even at the waterfall bar to talk about how crazy Karen Read is. Nothing. They just have him talking about me and my girls. We were hanging out at the house, and she went outside, and Ryan Nagel was there, and then she came back in, and yeah, my auntie JJ was there, and my auntie JJ was being crazy like she always is because she's a crazy bitch, and my uncle Matt was there, and he was also he was being a cuck. He was actually watching my uncle, my daddy Bri giving it to auntie JJ. It was kind of weird. It made me uncomfortable. Where's my donuts? Is anyone bringing my donuts? I just need my donuts. That's all I want. That man just wants his donuts. Get him his donuts. Get him his donuts, Julie Albert. All right. So then Caitlin Albert takes a stand, and I finally got to go in the courtroom for the first time. So that was fun. And they started getting into it. Yannetti started getting into it, grilling her about stuff. But today is really the day when it got really interesting with Caitlin Albert. So we're going to start with today's testimony. All right, here we go.
I mean, it was Alyssa's family and a bunch of friends. I can't put a number on it.
The friend.
Okay.
Discussion of.
So they want
to.
I do.
Oh, actually, let me go back to the first day when she first testified about what her definition of a friend is, because this really tells us all we need to know.
For family is concerned, 29 with any significant steps.
Walking down the street, I would have said hello to him. I don't know anything.
Another hearing, driving away from home. What, if anything, 29th by midnight or shortly thereafter, correct?
Correct.
And you were the last one to leave at the 1:45, 2 o'clock, somewhere in that area?
Yes.
She says she was the last one to leave at 1:45, except Jen McCabe and them left at 1:47. Can these guys get anything straight, please? What the hell's Paul O'Keefe thinking?
On January 29th of 2022, after you got up that day, did you receive a call, a text, any sort of communication from any investigator connected with this case?
I did not.
Trooper Proctor did not contact you on January 29th?
No.
He did not interview you on January 29th?
He did not.
What about January 30th?
No.
31st?
No.
How about the entire month of February? Did you hear from Trooper Proctor wherein he set up a meeting or an interview with you?
I did not.
Then what about the entire rest of 2022?
Objection,
Trooper
Your Honor.
Proctor interviewed you during that entire year?
All right. So the objection's overruled. You can answer that. Okay.
No.
I was not interviewed. No.
So you get his point there. You were inside the house and police during a murder, and the police had no interest in talking to you. What the fuck is the jury going to think when they hear that?
And then in 2023,
Be right back.
prior to May of 2023, were you contacted by Trooper Proctor or any investigator for an interview regarding what you just testified to here today?
I don't think so.
And you hadn't met Mr. Lally by May of 2023 either, correct?
I don't think so.
But in May of 2023, you actually were called to testify at another hearing where neither the Commonwealth or the defense in this case was present, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Lally and Ms. McLaughlin were not there, and certainly no members of the defense team were there, correct?
Correct.
And May of 2023 was well over a year after the events that you were called to testify about, correct?
Correct.
Right. So if these events happened on January 28th and 29th,
All right, we're going to get to
testimony before this jury that an acquaintance is really a friend.
I would say an acquaintance is someone.
Oh, here we
like,
go.
He was my father's friend. If I had.
Line of questioning?
I do.
And I believe you testified that you knew of Higgins, correct?
Yes.
You knew of
and you thought that you had met him a couple of times, correct?
Yes.
So Brian Higgins, you would classify as an acquaintance, correct?
To me?
Yes.
I would classify him as a friend of my father's, not really an acquaintance or friend of mine.
Okay.
Let's
So
talk
he
about
didn't
friends.
rise to the level of an acquaintance, somebody who you met, but you didn't really know.
I'm not really sure how I would categorize my relationship with him. Again, it was just more of like, he was my father's friend. If I had seen him walking down the street, I would have said hello to him. I don't know anything about his personal life. I don't communicate with him regularly. So, I mean, if that's what you would consider an acquaintance, then yes.
I guess I would ask, what do you consider an acquaintance? How would you define that term?
I would say an acquaintance is someone who you are friendly with and might see from time to time. I guess in my head, I'm just sort of thinking someone who's in closer in age with me. I usually think of it as more of like a friend type thing and not my father's friend to me. I guess that's just the way I think of it in my head.
Yeah,
is your testimony before this jury that an acquaintance is really a friend?
Someone that you're friendly with, perhaps.
What?
Could be.
Yeah, she's got a whole definition. We're ready to go.
Have you watched any of the testimony?
No,
in this case
no.
prior to your taking the stand today?
I have not.
No.
Has anybody told you anything about any of the testimony that has occurred prior to your taking the stand
No.
today?
No.
No. Why? No. Why would you ask that? Are you gonna ask me about Katie McLaughlin and my friendship? Because, man, if that took place, I wouldn't know anything about testimony about that, and I certainly haven't prepared for it. I certainly have not had a week to prepare a story.
Okay. Who is Katie McLaughlin?
Katie McLaughlin is a girl who I'm the same age as. We went to high school together. We graduated the same year, and we have a couple mutual friends. We interact with some of the same people socially. I can't think of a time, possibly ever, where her and I ever hung out one-on-one or individually. So more of like a friend of a mutual friend.
Okay, a friend of a mutual friend.
So, Kate, you would not consider Katie McLaughlin to be...
I mean, that's such a long fucking story. Like, that's just like she came... Oh, no, I had no idea you were going to ask me about my friendship with Katie McLaughlin. Why? What did she say? The girl, I barely know her, but no, I have this long definition because I know what you have. I know you have all these pictures, so I need to be like, well, I need an explanation for those, and I have one.
A friend.
She's not a close personal friend of mine.
No, she was a close personal friend.
Objection.
Just let her finish her answer.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your answer.
I would not consider her one of my, again, close friends.
All right, so let's get back to my question. Would you consider her to be a friend?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Okay, Doris, feel free to stand up and stretch.
Oh, there he is. Award-winning journalist, hard at work up there. Commenting on the 𝗫𝗄𝗃 stream. All right. Oh, this guy. Wait, what's Paul thinking when he hears this shit?
Yes.
You stayed at the waterfall.
Yes.
And you planned to go back to 34 Fairview, did you not?
At some point in time, that was spoken about, and I agreed to go back.
Story after she learned that 34 Fairview was the Albert family home. She was on record with Trooper Proctor stating that this came along.
That Jill Harrison Thomas, that ratchet, that is her, isn't it?
Overheard. She heard my client addressing Jennifer McCabe on scene in a hysterical manner, saying allegedly, "I hit my."
All right, so we're gonna skip to now. We're gonna skip to today's testimony. All right, let's pick it up where we left off.
You would agree with me that your response was not, she's a firefighter.
Correct.
Your response was not, she's a friend.
Correct.
Your response was not, I've known her for years.
Well, I sort of alluded to that when I said that I've known her since high school.
Oh, right. You alluded to it.
Your response was that she was somebody that you knew in high school, correct?
I said that I went to high school with her and she's my same age. We graduated the same year.
Right. So you referenced high school, correct?
Yes.
All right. You would agree with me that you've seen her several times since high school, correct?
Yes.
You have hung out in the same group with her several times since high school, correct?
Yes.
And you graduated high school in 2014?
Yes.
It is now 2024?
Yes.
Your contact with Katie McLaughlin has been fairly consistent over the years in that it continued at least until 2021, correct?
Yeah.
I would agree with that, although it was far and few between. But
is that
throughout the years, yes.
Do you say that because the photographs are far and few between?
Objection.
Sustained.
All right. You would agree with me that there was not a 3-year period prior to January 29th of 2022 where you didn't see Katie McLaughlin at all, correct?
A 3-year period?
Right.
I can't say 100% yes to that, but I wouldn't be surprised if I had seen her at some point in time over the past couple of years and before John O'Keefe's passing. Yeah,
Seen her a couple of times. Does that mean that maybe you bumped into her and said hello?
it would mean that we would be in the same place at the same time, not something that I reached out and invited her to in any way, shape, or form. But, you know, again, we have mutual friends, so I would not be surprised if I went somewhere and she happened to be there as well.
Oh. So this is just so obvious to the jury that she was prepared for this. She's seen the pictures. She's not stupid. She reads Turtleboy. She knows that, oh shit, they got these pictures, so I can't lie, you know. So have you seen her like frequently since high school? I wouldn't be surprised. No, I didn't invite her. She just kind of showed up through mutual friends. So she knows that they don't have any pictures of just me and her. They don't have any pictures of just me and her.
And it would have been a surprise to you that she showed up at whatever place you were at in those 3 years. Is that your testimony?
No, it would not have been a surprise to me.
You would have known in advance that Katie McLaughlin was going to be at the same place that you were in advance.
Not necessarily, but
ever in those 3 years?
Objection.
Isn't it true that only 8 months before January 29th of 2022, you and Katie McLaughlin were at a baby shower together?
Objection.
Do you know that?
Yes.
Go ahead and answer.
Yes, we did.
You were. Whose baby shower was it?
It was a mutual friend of ours.
Mutual friend.
Her name's Alyssa.
And how many people were at that baby shower?
I can't say for sure. I mean, it was Alyssa's family and a bunch of friends. I can't put a number on it.
The friends all gathered together and took a photo together with the woman having the baby shower, correct?
Objection.
Was there a photo taken?
I believe so.
You were in that photo, correct?
Yes.
Who was standing next to you?
I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, you know.
If you saw the photo, would that refresh your memory?
Yeah.
May I approach?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's Katie McLaughlin.
May I approach?
Yes.
Having reviewed that photograph, Ms. Albert, who is standing next to you?
One of my friends is on the left of me and Katie McLaughlin is on the right of me.
Oh, she's right next to you in that photo, correct?
Yes, she is.
That was in June of 2021, correct?
Yes.
So if somebody testified that you hadn't seen each other in 3 years prior to January 29th of 2022, that would be wrong, right?
Objection.
Okay.
And with regard to the contact that you've had with her in terms of group events, you would agree with me that it wasn't just day trips that you took with her, correct?
Correct.
You've also gone on road trips with her, correct?
I've gone away on trips that she was with. I didn't drive with her or go with her or invite her, but she has been there, yeah.
Okay. Oh, so she didn't go in the same car as her to the Maine. So it's not a friendship.
What road trips have you taken overnight where you and Katie McLaughlin have been together since high school?
Objection.
Sustained.
You've gone to Maine with Katie McLaughlin, have you not?
Objection.
So we need a time frame, Mr. Yannetti, not just 10 years ago.
Since high school, you've gone to Maine with Katie McLaughlin, correct?
Objection.
That's
Did you go to Maine with her?
I did, and the year would have been like 2015 or 2016.
If I suggested it was July of 2016, would that make sense?
That would sound about right, yeah.
And while you were in Maine, there were 7 of you in a hot tub together, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
You were in a hot tub with Katie McLaughlin in Maine, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Let me approach you, Ron.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the hot tub, he keeps asking everyone, like, what's her name? Julie Albert, like, have you ever taken a hot tub with Karen Reed? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's laying the foundation that you only do hot tubs with people that you're friends with.
I'm not sure how long it took to get up there.
It wasn't 10 minutes away.
No.
And it wasn't a half hour.
No.
All right. It was more than 2 hours, correct?
Maybe.
And you drove, correct?
Yes.
How many days did you spend in Maine?
I'm not sure, maybe 2.
So you were up in Maine over a weekend?
Yep.
With Katie McLaughlin, correct?
Yes, as well as a bunch of other friends.
Oh, of course. But the answer to my question is you were with Katie McLaughlin, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
How many times have the 2 of you been to the beach together since high school? Let me approach.
Yes.
All right. So they got her. You guys got the point here. She's lying.
Can you answer that?
Yes.
Who are your college roommates?
The roommate.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Who were your college roommates?
Oh, yeah, sustained.
How many college roommates did you have?
Objection.
Sustained.
Oh my God.
Fair to say that Katie McLaughlin has been with you and your college roommates.
Yes.
When was that?
2015, 2016.
And
no,
there
2017.
were 2 college roommates that you and Katie McLaughlin were with, correct?
I had multiple college roommates at that time, and 2 of them were the mutual friend that Katie and I share.
How can again, I said this earlier. How can 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗀 be friends with your college roommates if she doesn't go to your college? How does she know? If 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗀 doesn't go to Bridgewater State, then how does she know your roommates? Again, I made this analogy earlier. I'll say it again. I went to University of Massachusetts. When I went to UMass, I had my UMass friends and I had my Worcester friends from back home. And my Worcester friends would visit sometimes and hang out with my UMass friends, but they didn't like know each other that well. Like they only knew each other through me. They weren't buds. I mean, they, you know, maybe they became friends on AIM or whatever, but like my Worcester friends only knew them because of me. I was the person that kind of brought them together. But somehow she wants us to believe that 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗀, who doesn't go to Bridgewater State and is from Canton, became friends on her own with Caitlin Albert's roommates who are not from Canton and attend a school that 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗀 does not attend. Okay, Jan, sure thing.
And in fact, there was an occasion where you were in a kitchen with your 2 college roommates and 1 other person, correct?
Objection.
Need a time frame or something, Mr. Yannetti?
Well, that was around 2016, was it not?
That sounds about right, yes.
And do you recall which college roommates they were?
Objection.
Sustained.
And someone took a photo of you, your 2 college roommates, and 1 other person, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
In 2016.
Objection.
Sustained.
Maybe approach.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we get the point there. You know the deal. They're going to just time constraints here. She didn't see shit. She didn't notice shit. When she left that night, she didn't, she didn't, whatchamacallit, she didn't notice a body on her way out. And why did she leave? And this is a good question that Yannetti got to her. Why didn't you leave the, I don't get it. So you went out drinking with Tristin to the waterfall bar, and then he went home because he had to sleep to get up to plow. Okay. And then you stayed out and you were drinking and you went back to your family home. Why would Tristin come pick you up? Wouldn't you just sleep there? Like, why would you going to make, he's plowing, right? You're going to make his ass get up and come pick your drunk ass up? Stop it. Nobody believes that. You're going to get snowed in together. Nobody believes that, girl. So she has to have an explanation for that. Luckily, Tristin kind of does. And so we're going to meet Tristin now. He's a real charmer. I've met Tristin in person. Let me read a couple turtle chats before we do that. Rebecca sends $10 and says, tell Josh to put his CPAP on. Also, free Karen Reed and free Turtleboy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much there, Rebecca. I appreciate that. Samantha sends $15 and says, for some reason, I thought all these people would look like normal citizens. Coco Albert looks like she loves Percocets. Yes, she does. Brian Albert Jr.'s friends look like the mean girls at band camp. This is a joke. They have no decorum, no sense of how to present themselves in public. They all, meaning all Alberts and associates, have such glaring tells that it's so obvious. Oh, and let's not forget Jen McCabe or JJ wanted receipts of Nagel's conversation. That's so fucking weird. Yeah, I wonder why. Gretchen Voss needed him. She needed to give him to Gretchen. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for that. Chloe sends $5 and says, when will you crown the winner of 2024 Ratchet Madness? This week. We're going to do it this week. Although I think we know who's going to win. Okay. So, let's see. Do we have any cash apps here? I don't know if we do. I can't remember if I got any. Okay, cool. I don't think so. So if anyone else wants to have their message read, you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat. If you're on Rumble, or it's pinned to my Twitter. It's at the top of my Facebook, or you can cash at me at $, Uncle Turtleboy. All right. So let's go. Let's meet Tristin. He's a real McAlbert in training.
Would it pretty early?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you please state your name?
Okay.
29th. Do you recall that day?
Look at him.
Early morning of the 29th?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
And do you recall what days of the week those were?
Friday and Saturday, I believe.
And on that particular Friday, what, if any, plans did you have yourself and your girlfriend Caitlin out?
For me, it was just an ordinary day. I went out and I met them for a drink.
And about what time?
So I'm going to ask you to keep your voices.
Okay.
You indicated you went out and met them. Who's them?
My girlfriend Caitlin, and that's all I remember.
And do you recall where was it you went?
Waterfall Bar and Grill.
That's somewhere that you and Caitlin had been to before?
Yes, multiple times.
And do you have any idea what time that was on the 28th?
I don't recall.
And do you recall if anyone else was there in addition to yourself and your girlfriend Caitlin?
No, I do not.
Do you recall whether or not either of her parents were there?
I don't remember.
Morris Gump. That's what
You're
we're
familiar with
calling
your
him.
parents, though? Is that fair to say?
Yes, I am.
You're familiar with the family, correct?
Yes, I am.
And if you recall, about how long was it that you were at the waterfall day?
I couldn't estimate, but it wasn't that long.
Okay, can't
And
do
wasn't
much.
that long? Why? What was it that caused you to leave that night?
Later that night, I had to go plow.
Okay, so you had to
I
go
was supposed to wake
plow.
up pretty early.
Yep.
And as far as plowing, is that something that you do sort of on the side on a fairly regular basis? Or?
Yes, when I can do it, I do it. It's extra money.
And how is it that, what if any relationship?
Morris
you have
Gump.
with the company that
That's
you went
his.
sort of plowing and show up for?
It's my landlord's company.
And is that, when you say plowing, is that sort of residences, businesses, or something else?
All of those. Residence houses, anything, businesses, could be any of them.
It could be a commercial parking lot, could be a condo, could be a business park, any of those things.
Correct.
And about what time was it, if you know, that you were supposed to sort of be ready or on call to go out?
So we were waiting for the snow. I just had to be on call for 3 to 4 in the morning, just have my phone on standby and be ready to go. Just how it always is.
And so when you left, or when you went to the waterfall in Kearney, at that time, was it snowing?
I don't believe so.
And when you left the waterfall to go home, why did
Okay, we're
you went home
gonna.
to rest? Is that fair?
The Lally.
Yeah, I needed to sleep, yes.
And when you left the waterfall,
All right.
you were driving from Easton to Canton. It was snowing. Do you recall how much?
All right, here we go.
Snow?
Correct.
The two of you now live together?
Correct.
Are you still living in Easton?
Yes.
How long have you lived together for?
3 years.
When you first met her, where was she living?
Canton,
Where in Canton?
34 Fairview.
She was living there with her parents at the time?
Correct.
Brian and Nicole Albert?
Yes.
You met her parents, Brian and Nicole Albert, several years ago, correct?
Correct.
You've met all of Caitlin's siblings as well?
Correct.
You spent time at their house?
All right.
John O'Keefe, yes. You have continued associating with both the Alberts and the McCabe's, correct?
Yes.
Because you're still dating. And do you recall the date that photograph was posted to social media?
Oh, this picture.
No, I don't.
I showed
the
you
fist.
your identification again. Would that refresh your memory?
Yes.
So we've seen this picture. Have you guys seen?
And
I showed this picture earlier. I think I still have it. Do I have this saved? I showed it earlier in the day during the stream. Give me one moment to pull this bad boy up. All right. This one. I love this picture. I fucking love this picture. It's the most McAlbert picture of all time. I fucking love this picture. When I found this one, I'm like, this is gold. This picture is gold. This picture was taken like June 6th, 2022, a couple days before Karen Reed was officially was arrested and charged with murder. She might have been formally indicted at that point. They just didn't have an arrest warrant. Like they indicted me a couple days before I was arraigned. And it's just every fucking picture has to have the stupid thing. And people are like, well, you do it too, Turtleboy. No, you stupid idiot. I'm doing it to mock them. Like that's my thing now. Every time I take a picture, I go, Hardo can't face, you know? I'm mocking them. Like, this is ridiculous. They do it in every picture. These guys, like it's just their obsession with being like the tough guys. And in and by the way, Brendan, that's his favorite son. That's Brian Albert's favorite. Like he loves Brendan because Brendan plays football. And then there's Brian Albert Jr., who's just like, me too. Yeah. Okay. And we have I got this goofy motherfucker. I think that's Jen McCabe's lesbian sister's son. He's the one that posted this picture. I found it on his Instagram. And then this goofy motherfucker just wants to belong. Here's the roided out Colin Albert's Mighty Mouse brother. And then there's Tristin acting like a fucking idiot. And then, oh, look at 𝗥𝗲𝗄𝗆 Charlie. Just look at him in all. They're so happy to belong. And so he gets asked about it because he's in that picture. Tristan's in this picture. So he gets asked about it.
You've got a chance to look at it.
Yeah.
Having reviewed G for identification, does that refresh your memory as to the date of the posting of that photograph?
Yes.
Were you aware at that time that
Exactly, Lord.
what date was it?
You just showed me.
I know, and I'm asking you to tell the jury.
It's June 5th. It was dated.
of 2022?
Yeah.
Were you aware that June 5th of 2022 was 4 days before Karen Reed was indicted for this case?
Objection, Your Honor. The objection sustained.
He's like,
Were
I don't
you
fucking
and the
know.
Alberts and the McCabe's celebrating the indictment of Karen Reed?
Objection.
Were you?
No.
He doesn't even know what an indictment is.
In Canton at 1:45 in the morning or about 1:45 on January 29th of 2022, correct?
I don't remember the time.
Oh, this is great. This is my favorite interaction. They were just like, what do we do with this? Somebody this stupid. So he asks him about, like, what were you doing in Canton? I thought you went home to sleep and you had to wake up at 3 a.m. So why did you go back and pick her up at 1:45? Are you a boyfriend or a slave? What were you doing there? And he's got the most Tristin Morris Gump answer of all time.
You've never testified before any grand jury regarding this case, correct?
I haven't.
You've never testified previously in any hearing regarding this case, correct?
I haven't.
You were at 34 Fairview Road in Canton at 1:45 in the morning or about 1:45 on January 29th of 2022, correct?
I don't remember the time.
Was it wildly different than 1:45 in the morning, or was it somewhat close to that?
I don't remember the
I'm
time.
not going to make up a time. I don't remember.
I'm not going to make up a time. What time are you there? 1:45? I don't fucking know. Okay, well, you must have some clue. Can you come within an hour? Can we give you like an hour range there to get it within? Come on. One standard deviation. Give us one. He's like, I'm not going to say anything.
Was it 9 p.m. on the 28th?
Was it 9
I
p.m.?
don't remember times.
No, the answer is no, dumb shit. We found Tristan's kryptonite. The clock. That's his weakness, is the clock. Yeah, I don't fucking know. 9 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock. Same shit to me. Same shit to me. I don't even, my fucking alarm, it's always blinking 12 o'clock. I don't even know what any of this means. Never learned to tell time. I don't fucking know. Tristin, wake up. Tristin, go plow. Tristin, Tristin, go back bed. Tristin, no time. What no time it is. Tristin, just go. Tristin, work. Tristin, get tattoo. Right? Tristin, plow roads and then plow Brian Albert daughter. That's what Tristin do. And Tristin, go Southie. And Tristin tell Turtleboy, go away, go home. Come here. From here. You go away. That's what Tristin do. Oh my God, this was awesome.
If I asked you if you were there to pick up your girlfriend Caitlin at 9 p.m. on January 28th, you couldn't say if that's true or false?
No, because I'm not making up a time.
He's wearing a watch too.
Okay, so it could have been 9 p.m. that you were there, not 1:45 in the morning.
He's
I didn't
wearing
say
a
that.
watch.
Well, you've just said that you can't rule out that it was actually 9 p.m. on the 28th, didn't you?
Objection, Your Honor.
Can you answer that? Did you say that?
No, like time.
I didn't say anything. I don't remember time.
No, I understand.
So I'm not going to make up a time.
Hold on,
Yeah,
only
we
one
know.
person can speak
We
at a
know
time.
you're not going to.
I don't. It could have been later. It could have been early. I don't know a time.
I don't
It
fucking
couldn't have
know.
been 9 p.m. on January 28th. Could it have been?
I don't know.
Kristen, was it 3 p.m.?
What time were you at the
I don't
waterfall?
fucking know.
I don't remember.
Were you at the waterfall?
Yes, it was.
This dude
On what
hates.
date?
The 28th.
He hates
Was it in the
time.
morning?
It was at nighttime.
Okay.
Oh, so okay.
What time?
So we're getting somewhere. He knows the difference between day and nighttime. Tristan, no, dark outside, nighttime. Tristan, no. Tristan, no sunlight out, that daytime. Tristan, no time now. So he's got it down. He's got two general ideas of time, daytime and nighttime. It's just like the hours part that he gets hung up on. He struggles with that part.
The waterfall.
I don't remember.
Did you leave at 5 p.m.?
I don't remember.
No, he don't know time.
Yeah, you were.
Could have been 5 in the morning. I don't know.
Could have been. That's the same shit to me. Oh my God.
Leaving aside what time it was.
The jury's watching this. You know what the jury's really thinking when they listen to this? Okay, they're like, okay, this guy's obviously retarded, like whatever. But they're just like, Caitlin Albert chooses to bring this guy home to dad, which really tells you all. It tells us a lot more about Caitlin Albert and dad more than anything. That this guy is readily accepted into the family. Like, picture bringing this guy home to your mom. Picture any normal family bringing Tristin freaking Morris home. Hey, Tristan, how you? Oh, welcome to the house, Tristan. How you doing? I don't know. Fucking, I don't know. I'm not saying because I don't really know. I don't really know how I'm doing. You can't tell me. Okay. All right, Tristan. Where are you from? Well, from Southie, obviously. Fucking third toughest guy that ever lived there. Well, don't you live in Canton? When did you move? How old were you when you moved to Canton? I don't know. I don't want to say. Might be wrong. Could have been 2 months old. Could have been 30. I don't know. So Tristin, no like time, but somebody brought, look at him. Look at that face. Caitlin Albert brought that face home to dinner.
Will you testify that you were at 34 Fairview Road on January 29th after midnight?
I don't remember the time.
Okay. But you do remember being there, correct?
At the waterfall?
No, at the 34 Fairview.
I remember picking my girlfriend up, yes.
Yeah, you remember that.
Testified to that,
But now what time it is?
Yes.
And when you were there, you had an opportunity to see the
Like, why was this his strategy? I don't get what his strategy was. Like, oh, I know how I'll fool him. I'll just pretend not to know time. That will trick them. Yeah, take that, John O'Keefe. Fuck you, Karen Reed.
onto that property, did you not?
Yes.
You pulled into the driveway?
I don't remember where I pulled into.
Okay. Did you pull into any place when you got there?
I don't remember where I pulled into.
So you say you don't remember where you pulled into. That wasn't my question. My question was, did you pull in any place when you got to 34th Fairview?
Well, I had to pick my girlfriend up, so yes, I did.
You did. Okay. Was there any place other than the driveway to pull into when you got to 34th Fairview?
No.
So it had to be the driveway, right?
Must have been.
Must have been.
When you pulled into the driveway, you waited a period of time for Caitlin, correct?
Yes.
I could watch him testify all day.
I don't remember.
Was it more than a half hour?
No.
Was it more than 10 minutes?
I don't remember.
It could have been more than 10 minutes.
Probably wasn't.
And when you say it probably wasn't, that means it probably was less than 10 minutes, correct?
Sorry, I'm having too much fun.
I don't remember the time.
Oh, it's great.
During that time that you were waiting for Caitlin to come out of the house while you were in the driveway, there was nothing obstructing your view of the front lawn, correct?
Nope.
All right. And
Okay. We get the point. He's literally retarded. Okay. So we're going to skip Tristin because he doesn't say anything other than, he didn't see nothing. None of them saw nothing. Now let's get to Sarah Levinson, who I found to be somewhat honest, except for certain parts.
Shifting gears for a second.
Preschool, Mary and Courtney, I had known since high school. Courtney, I was more.
She looked a lot. Again, I'm not trying to pick on her, even though she is a nurse who was inside the house when John O'Keefe was murdered and didn't do shit about it and can come clean whenever she wants. And she's choosing to cover up this lie. So I'm not going to make fun of the way she looks. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to say she's a bad person because she's lying.
More of an acquaintance with because she was friends with Brian.
Oh, acquaintance.
So she was more friends with your friend than you guys were mutual friends.
Okay.
Correct.
And do you recall what kind of?
Depends which ones, but yes.
Some of them.
Yes.
You know that Jennifer McCabe's daughters are Brian Albert Jr.'s cousins, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Were you interviewed by any police officer, state trooper, or other investigator?
Nope.
About the events of that night?
Not
On
interviewed.
January 29th, 2022?
On that day?
Yeah. Were you interviewed?
No.
Nope.
What about the rest of January or even February of 2022? Were you interviewed by any investigator?
No.
The fact of the matter is that no investigator connected with this case took a statement from you in terms of an interview until about 9 months later, correct?
Correct.
And that was done at the district attorney's office on October 21st of 2022?
Correct.
Now, that night while you were at the house, you'll agree with me that there were people coming, Nicole Albert, Julie Albert, Caitlin Albert, and Brian Albert Jr. when you arrived, right?
Correct.
Then Julie Albert, Caitlin Albert, and Nicole Albert left, right?
Yes.
But then 4 other friends of Brian Jr. arrived, right?
Yes.
And you would name them when Mr. Lowry was asking you questions before the break, right?
Yes, correct.
So with those 4 friends, with you.
All right.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. I'm talking about Courtney Albert, Catherine Duty, Emily Fabiano, and Mary Kent. Strike that. You know what? Let me withdraw that question and rephrase it. They left sometime between 11 p.m. and 12.
Correct.
So I find her kind of boring. So I'm just going to summarize real quick the interesting things that she says here. That basically what we learned from her, now I found the most interesting, is that she testified in front of the federal grand jury in May of 2023. I did not know that. So she testified because they do the whole, like, did you testify at a hearing that's not this hearing, but neither of us was there. Were you there at that hearing? And she said, yes, she did. And at that hearing, she said that she saw grass on the ground when she left with Jennifer McCabe, and that she was in the backside passenger side, backseat passenger side. When she got a ride home, Matt McCabe's driving, Jen McCabe's shotgun. She's directly behind Jen McCabe. And so she would be closest to the body. So why didn't she see it? And Adam Lally prepped her, be like, so you were a little distracted, right? When you were going by there. So you didn't see the dead body. Oh yeah, totally. Didn't see the dead body. Totally. There's a perfectly reasonable explanation for that.
And you can't be sure if it's correct.
Yes, I don't know if you said Matt McCabe.
So yeah. And then what else did she say? I wrote down here. Okay. Now let's get to Julie Nagel. Because Julie Nagel sucks balls. Like, she blows. And before we do that, let me just read a turtle chat here from Eric, sends $10, says, don't want to speak for all dudes in their 50s, but pretty sure I have a better shot of getting pregnant than Brian Albert would of getting laid at 2:30 in the morning after 30 years of marriage. Amen, dude. I mean, that's what everybody says. Dude, all the King's Viagra wasn't putting that together. First of all, he wouldn't want to. Have you seen Nicole? Have you seen Nicole? That woman is beat up by life. Like, that woman is just, wow. She's never, like, people are saying they're getting divorced. She's never leaving him. Like, look at her. She has no prospects, nothing. She looks defeated. So, no. But, yeah, I agree with you on that. Absolutely no way were they boning. No way at all. No fucking way. Also, do we have any other Cash Apps? I don't think so. All right, cool. God, we'll do Julie Nagel. If anyone else wants to have their message read, last call. Cash App is $ Uncle Turtleboy, or you can click at the link at the top of the Rumbles, where we still have over 4,000 Rumble rats and a whole bunch of other people on Facebook and everywhere. So we made this happen tonight. Okay, let's get to Julie Nagel's testimony. Okay, look at her. Oh, God. Cabbage Patch motherfucker. Look at her. Oh.
I mean, if I could put your attention to January 28th, 2022 into the early morning. Do you recall where you were that evening?
I do.
And where did you go?
To my friend Brian Albert's house.
All right, we're going to get to the
When you saw the vehicle parked, and that would have been passenger side, describe how big an object it was that you saw.
Okay.
I'd probably say like 5 or 6 feet.
Okay, so this is the most important part. Nobody saw John O'Keefe's body. Not a single witness saw John O'Keefe's body. And the prosecution pointed that out in a filing the defense pointed that out in a filing in, I believe, September of 2022. They said they wanted to find out who the other person, they didn't know who Sarah Levinson was. And they knew there was another woman in that car. And they filed a motion to try to figure that out. And in the motion, they pointed out that, I believe Matt McCabe said that there was V-shaped tire tracks in the road, but yet he couldn't see a body. He could see the tire tracks in the road, but he couldn't see a body. And it's kind of like, it kind of clicked with these people. Like, somebody had to have seen a body. Like, a jury's not going to buy this, that nobody saw a body. But you can't say that you saw a body, because the next logical question is, why didn't you call police? So then they came up with this idea. They're like, what if we get someone to say that they saw a dark, shadowy figure, or a black blob, as Julie has renamed it? Because she told police when she was finally questioned 9 months after the murder of John O'Keefe, in which she was a paramount witness to, oh yeah, I did see something, but not, so what did you see? What did you see, Julie?
Like long.
At the time that you're driving by.
What did you see?
If I could.
Tell me about what you saw.
That's one more question. With regard to the object that you saw in that area, the flagpole, can you describe how big an object it was that you saw?
I'd probably say like 5 or 6 feet.
So she picked like the size of a grown man, like John O'Keefe. The fuck is a black blob? Picture if you saw a black blob. What is a blob? What does that mean? Why is it black? So she saw a black blob. It's a blob. What is a blob? And why is it 6 feet? If I saw a black blob on my friend's lawn, I'd be like, that's fucking big. I think you have a bear in your yard. I think there's a bear there. Like that, I'd be like, there's something going on there. We are going to look and see what the fuck that thing is, because we need to figure that out. There is a big black blob on your yard, and whatevs, just keep on going. A 5 or 6 foot blob, man. That's a huge blob. Dude, is the jury buying this?
Like long, but
At the time that you're driving by at that point, you can tell what it was.
not quite sure. No, it was just too kind of quick.
Stop it.
Too quick to tell.
Stop it. Stop it.
Thank you.
Okay. So now Yannetti gets at it. Petty Yannetti.
Good afternoon, Ms. Nagel.
Good afternoon.
On January 28th of 2022, you got to 34 Fairview Road at about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And you were inside almost the entire time, correct?
She's like so rude.
So you came in
Listen to her.
contact with just about everybody who came into that house, correct?
Yes.
And you know that everyone who was in the house that night is a witness in this case, correct?
Yes.
The only time you went outside before you left was when your brother Ryan arrived, correct?
Yes.
And even when you went outside, you stayed on the Albert property, did you not?
Yes, I did.
And you had some contact with your brother out there, correct?
Yes.
And you know that he's a witness in this case as well, correct?
I do. Yes.
And despite having contact with all of these witnesses in this case, Trooper Proctor didn't talk to you on January 29th, did he?
No.
No.
Or the rest of January or the whole month of February, correct?
No.
Correct.
He didn't interview you about these statements that you're making today until October of 2022, correct?
If that's what it says on paper, yeah.
October 5 of 2022, does that sound right?
I don't know.
It was many months after January 29th, correct?
Yes.
Over 8 months after John O'Keefe was found dead on Brian Albert's lawn, correct?
If that was the time frame, yes.
And when he spoke to you on October 5, Trooper Proctor asked you for the first time to remember the details from 8 months before that, correct?
If that was the time frame, yes.
And you are good friends with Sarah Levinson, correct?
Yes.
Certainly over the last 2+ years, the two of you have discussed what happened on January 28th and 29th, correct?
Yeah.
And you know that Michael Proctor only interviewed you after the defense in this case made him file the motion to get Sarah Levinson's name from the DA's office. Correct?
Yeah.
Objection sustained. Next question.
So again, Michael Proctor needed somebody to say that there was something on that yard. So they're like, well, let's bring Julie Nagel in. Maybe she remembers seeing something. Maybe something she hasn't told anyone. Maybe she's got something.
Jim.
So you've known Brian Jr. since your sophomore or junior year, correct?
Yes.
And you actually graduated Canton High School in 2016, correct?
Correct.
But you've known him since
Correct.
2014 or 15?
Yes.
9 or 10 years?
Yep.
Yep.
He's a good friend.
Yes.
He's a close friend of yours, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
And on January 28th of 2022, you were one of a select group of his friends who went to his house to celebrate his birthday.
Yep.
The following night, right?
Yes.
And you don't go to somebody's house
Now this.
who you graduated high school with 10 years previously to celebrate their birthday if they're just an acquaintance, correct?
Objection.
She doesn't get it. It's okay. The joke went over your head, dear. He's talking about Katie McLaughlin and Caitlin Albert. He's just never letting the jury forget that. He's never letting the jury forget the ridiculousness of that.
I don't know.
I'll let the answers.
When you got there, other than Sarah Levinson and yourself, everyone at the house was a member of the Albert family, correct?
Can you rephrase the question, please?
Sure. You and Sarah Levinson are not actually Alberts, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Everybody else
We
in the
wish.
house was when you got there.
We wish.
No.
You named Brian Albert Jr., correct? Okay, before that night, right? The night of January 28th into the 29th, you saw Brian Albert Sr. After he came back to 34 Fairview, correct?
Yes.
You were on the first floor of that residence the whole night, were you not?
Yes.
And you have a specific memory of Brian Albert Sr. walking Chloe through the first floor of that house, correct?
Yes.
When Brian Albert Sr. was walking Chloe through the first floor of that house, he maintained control of Chloe's collar, did he not?
He did, yes.
You like dogs, right?
I do.
I like dogs.
But you didn't pat Chloe. It's not friendly, correct?
Objection.
Yeah.
And you say at some point, that's because you're not sure of the exact time when he got there, correct?
Correct.
You're not sure of the exact time when he left, correct?
I would say 11:30, 11:45, around there.
Oh,
He
really?
wasn't somebody who was important to you that night, was he?
Nah.
Not really, no.
Nah,
You weren't
fuck him.
paying attention to monitor when he came or when your investigator asked you for a copy of that text message?
All right, we're
I
gonna.
don't know.
Is that text message still on your phone?
Oh, this.
I don't know.
Did you delete that text message?
I don't know. So let's move this along.
We're gonna.
Did you provided that.
Hold on.
12:20.
We got to talk about this.
Your brother Ryan Nagel and you lived in the same home, correct?
Right.
At the time, yes.
At about 12:15 to 12:20, you texted your brother Ryan for a ride home, correct?
If that's what the timestamp says, yes.
Do you have a screenshot of that text message?
That's a timestamp.
Somewhere, yes.
Did you provide that to any investigator or assistant district attorney?
I don't remember.
You recall whether any assistant district attorney or investigator asked you for a copy of that text message?
I don't know.
Is that text message still on your phone?
I don't know.
Did you delete that text message?
I don't know. So let's move this along, Stephen.
When you texted Ryan that night, you were contacting him because you thought it was an appropriate time for you to leave, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take your brother Ryan to get to the Albert home after that text message?
I don't know.
Oh.
Was it an hour?
I don't think so, no.
Was it a half hour?
I do not know.
So you have no idea how long it took him to get there and how long you stayed after you texted him, correct?
Oh.
I don't know. No.
Oh, whatever.
By the time you're texting Ryan, Ms. Nagel, how much do you think you would have to drink since 6 or 7 p.m.?
Oh.
A decent amount.
Like 10 Bud Diesels.
Would you say that another word for it would be a lot?
No.
What were you drinking that night?
Look how chill she is.
And
Whatever.
how many did you have?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh,
Did you bring your own World Ultras to the party?
I don't know.
Oh.
You don't remember whether you brought any beer to the party?
I don't know.
Where was the beer?
I either brought it or
Up your
I don't
ass.
know. I don't remember. It was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, bro.
Where was it in the home?
In the fridge.
Yeah, the fridge.
You have no
It's
memory
also
of
my
running out
nickname,
of beer
but
that
yeah.
night, correct?
I don't remember. No.
There appeared to be
They
plenty
call
of
me
beer
the
going around,
fridge.
correct?
For myself, yeah.
Between the
Wow.
time that you texted your brother Ryan and the time he arrived, it's fair to say that you changed your mind about going home with him, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You changed your mind while you were still inside the Albert home, correct?
I did not say that. No.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm asking you now.
No.
You changed your mind only after you left the residence and went out to talk to him?
Yes.
Nah, bro.
You claimed on direct examination that he was the one that said, "Why don't you stay longer?"
No, that's not what I said.
That said that you wanted to stay longer.
If myself.
So you told him that you wanted to stay longer, correct?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I did.
Yeah.
And when you went outside, you learned that he'd come and his friend, is it Ricky
Why did you
Dantano?
text him?
How do you pronounce the name?
It's Ricky Dantano.
Dantano.
Ryan had come in Ricky Dantano's gray
fridge.
Ford F-150.
Julie the
correct?
fridge
sorry, can you repeat that?
Nagel.
I butchered that. When you went outside, you saw that your brother Ryan was in Ricky Dantano's gray Ford F-150 truck, correct?
Correct. Yes.
He was sitting in the front passenger seat of the truck, correct?
Ryan. Yes.
The truck was parallel to
Refrigerator Nagel.
Albert's residence, correct?
Yes.
It was not parked in the driveway.
No.
Nah,
The truck
bro.
was facing toward Chapman Street.
Nah, dude.
Going up the hill, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
bro.
Ryan's
Yeah.
seat would have been the closest to the property, right? Passenger seat
I'm sorry. Closest to the what?
to the Albert home.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, right.
You walked down the driveway to get to
Okay.
move forward, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you saw it move forward again to near the flagpole, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I saw
And
that
was there
happen.
a third time that you saw it move?
Yeah.
I saw it pull up.
Nah,
Stopped.
bro.
Pulled up again. Stopped. Pulled
Yeah,
up again by the
just-
flagpole. Stopped. That's all I
Yeah,
saw.
I just
And that was
watched
all while
it.
you were inside the house, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when it was pulling up like that, Ms. Nagel, it wasn't going 80 miles an hour, correct?
Nah.
It was not. No.
It wasn't going
no.
50 miles an hour, correct?
I mean, I didn't have a radar gun on me, but no.
Yeah, picture Tristan. Bro, I'm not answering that. I don't know, bro. Who are these witnesses, man?
It was going at a safe speed, correct?
Yeah.
It wasn't going a very long distance, correct? Each time?
No.
It's a matter of several feet, correct? Adjusting its position?
Just pulled up and stopped
Yeah, bro.
a few times.
Right. And as you saw it pull up and stop a few times from within the home, its direction was always forward, correct?
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me. I did mean your brother Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the fact that you're paying attention. At least one of us is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with what I asked you
He's
about
like, yeah, bro.
the screenshots,
Yeah, right.
of the text messages that you had with your brother Ryan, and whether any investigator or assistant district attorney had asked you for them, correct?
I don't remember.
You didn't remember, right? But
You guys are
somebody
going to
did
hell.
ask you for a screenshot,
We're
correct?
all
Yes.
going to
Who
hell.
was that?
JJ McCabe.
And by JJ, you mean Jennifer McCabe.
Correct. Yes.
When JJ asked you, do you remember when it was that JJ, Jennifer McCabe, asked you for a copy of those screenshots?
I
This
do
is
not
wild
remember.
that
Did you
she's
provide them to
JJ.
Jennifer McCabe?
I did. Yes.
Did
Wait.
Jennifer McCabe, when she
What?
asked you to provide her those screenshots, claim that she was an investigator in this case?
Objection.
Why can we stop right there? This is like the most why is Jen McCabe asking her for screenshots? of her messages with Ryan asking for a ride. What is she what is she doing? What is she trying to prove? What is she up to? What did she need that for? We know why they needed the fake Colin messages, because they needed to give it to dumbass, ratchet ass, hoe ass Gretchen Voss with her skank ass pajama pants to court outfit. Skanky ass Gretchen. Oh God, she is such trash. Gretchen, you told me, you're like, she told me that better get facts straight. Yeah. So like, better get facts straight. I got a video of her. I got to show you guys too. Mouthing off to Jessica Machado. Better get your facts straight. I'm not ratchet, and I'm not unemployed, and I'm not a piece of shit. Well, piece of shit and ratchet, pretty subjective. I disagree with you on both of those, but they can't be right or wrong because they're subjective. As for unemployed, who do you work for? Gretchen. Oh, I don't have a job. I don't know how I started talking about Gretchen, but let's get back to this one. She's a real charmer.
You can answer that. Do you mind repeating that, please?
When Jennifer McCabe, or as you call her, JJ, asked you for screenshots of the text messages that you had with your brother Ryan, did Jennifer McCabe tell you that she was investigating this case?
No.
And you have no memory of providing those screenshots to any investigator other than Jennifer McCabe, correct?
I don't remember, no.
Okay. Now, when you're ultimately leaving the residence, it's about, I think you said 1:45 a.m. is your best
Here's
guess?
the blob.
Yes.
Let's get to the blob.
Which door?
The front door.
And that would be the one to
the side, but yeah.
Fair to say that walking out the front door of that house, you saw nobody on that front lawn in front of you, correct?
When I walked out?
Correct.
No.
None of the other three people yelled out that they saw a body, correct?
Correct.
You got into Jennifer McCabe's vehicle, correct?
Yes.
And you were seated just behind the driver, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
And the driver was Matthew McCabe, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Jennifer McCabe was in the front passenger seat?
Yes.
And Sarah Levinson was sitting next to you
Yep.
behind the front passenger,
Okay.
correct?
Yes.
Matthew McCabe backed the car out of the driveway and then headed up toward Chapman Street, correct?
Yes.
That meant that the passenger side of the vehicle was closest to the Albert home, correct?
Yes.
So that meant that Sarah Levinson and Jennifer McCabe were in the seats that were closest to the Albert home, correct?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Oh, you heard him.
As Matthew McCabe was driving that vehicle alongside the Albert property line, Jennifer, you claim now to have seen a black object.
Here we go. The black,
correct?
the blob.
Yes.
The blob.
Object is the term that you use when you were finally interviewed about this matter, correct?
Stop.
A black object, yes.
Right. You never before ever told any investigator that what you actually saw was a black blob, correct?
I don't remember.
And
That's a new word.
you also never, ever told any investigator that this black object that you described was actually 5 feet or 6 feet long.
No,
correct?
that's I just made that
Correct,
shit up
yes.
The
today.
very first time you're now mentioning this testimony that this black object, as you describe it, was actually 5 or 6 feet long was just today, after 12 noon on May 14th of 2024, correct?
Lally asked me how big it was, so I just told him right now, yeah.
Yeah,
Lally,
yeah.
when you say Lally, you mean Mr.
Lally.
Yes, Mr. Lally,
Lally.
correct, yes.
Mr. Lally just asked you during
Lally.
this trial.
I
Again,
love how she calls him Lally. Like, oh my gosh. This woman, what a charmer she is. Oh,
right before this jury. That's the first time you've ever been asked or ever given an answer as to how big that object was, correct?
Not necessarily, no.
Did you review any report that was taken when the investigators spoke to you regarding this case before taking the stand today?
No.
no.
You've never testified in a grand jury regarding this case, correct?
Correct.
You've never testified in any hearing regarding this case, correct?
In this hearing, in this case?
Besides today?
No.
And you would agree with me that it is nowhere on record that this black object that you talk about was ever 5 or 6 feet long prior to telling the jury that today.
Objection.
You have to ask that differently, Mr. Newman.
Today, this afternoon, is the first time that you've provided testimony or information to any official regarding this case that the object was 5 or 6 feet long.
No.
What?
I'm sorry?
No.
What?
Who did you tell prior to today?
Yeah.
About what?
Oh my
I
God.
thought we were talking about the fact that you now testified that this black object was 5 or 6 feet long. You recall that?
Today, yes.
And my question to
Oh
you
my
was,
God.
you've never mentioned that this black object was 5 or 6 feet long until the last hour or so when Mr. Lally questioned you about it, correct?
Yes.
Now, when you were passing the property, you did not think it was a body.
At the time, no.
At the time, no.
You claim that you told everyone in the car that you saw something, correct?
Correct.
And your friend Sarah said what? Or something to that effect, correct?
Correct.
She saw something.
And
what a
there was
liar.
no further conversation after that, correct?
Not that I can remember.
Yeah, guys. So I just saw this like big 6-foot blob. And yeah. So anyway, what are you guys up to? Yeah.
No.
And you didn't think that it was a person who was in trouble, correct?
Objection.
Did you think that at what time, Mr.
When you were leaving the property, after leaving the house at 1:45 a.m. and getting into the vehicle and passing the Albert lawn, you did not think that you saw a person who was in trouble, correct?
No.
Or a person that may have needed help, correct?
I don't know, no.
And you were right there, correct? Passing the property?
I was passing the property, yes.
Not as close to the property as your friend Sarah Levinson, but you were in the back seat on the driver's side, correct?
Correct.
And you were in a car such that you thought that you saw something that could have been a person. All you had to do was tell the driver, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you tell the driver that you saw somebody who was in trouble?
Well, I said it out loud in the car.
So is it your testimony now that you said out loud in the car, there's a person who's in trouble?
That's not what I said, no.
You didn't mention a person at all in the car, correct?
No.
You did not tell Matthew McCabe, hey, stop the car, correct?
I did not know.
If you had seen a person in the snow lying there, you would have done something about it, correct?
Right.
Objection.
You didn't ask Matthew McCabe to stop.
No.
You didn't ask him to back up.
Nope.
You didn't ask him to check on whatever it was.
Objection, Your
Honor.
No.
You had your phone with you, correct?
Yeah.
Your phone was working, correct?
I don't remember.
You used that phone to text your brother.
An hour and a half before.
Are you testifying today that your phone was completely out of charge?
I don't remember, no.
Text your good friend Brian Albert Jr. to tell him that you saw somebody lying on his front lawn?
Did I text him?
Yes.
That night?
No, it was just a blob.
As you are supposedly seeing this black object.
Objection.
The immediate aftermath of that, did you text Brian Albert Jr. to tell him about that black object?
So in that form, it's sustained. Ask it differently, Mr. Morris.
You had your friend Sarah Levinson with you, correct?
I did in the car, yes.
You knew she was a nurse, correct?
Yeah.
You didn't tell your friend Sarah that you just saw
breathing.
somebody lying in the snow during a blizzard who might need some help, correct?
I did not know.
That Brian Jr.'s father was a police officer, correct?
Objection, Your
So let's move this. Are you just about done with this line of questioning? I'll give you a little bit more.
A couple more questions.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Yes.
You didn't tell Jennifer McCabe or JJ to call her brother-in-law, correct?
No.
The fact of the matter is, you did nothing, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you did not see a body on that lawn, correct?
Objection.
Is that true? Can you answer that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
You didn't see a body on that lawn.
I mean, I don't know what I saw, but I saw an object.
What a fucking cunt. I don't know what I saw, but I saw an object. You didn't see fucking shit, you lying sack of fucking granola. Like, look at this. Fuck her. Fuck this fat piece of shit. Julie Nagel. That's what she is. She's a fat piece of shit, and I hope she burns in fucking eternal hell with Katie McLaughlin by her side. This is a goddamn murder trial. There's an innocent woman whose life is on the line. And all these towny fucking whores can do is get up on the stand and lie their fucking asses off. I hope you burn in eternal hell because that's where you fucking belong. You stupid fat cow. You deserve to be fat and disgusting because you disgust me. You disgust me. You're ugly on the inside and outside. I hope Brian Nagel never talks to you again the rest of his life. He's the only decent member of your family. God, you sicken me. The fucking, Anyway, so she's going to start tomorrow. We're going to start with her tomorrow. And David Yannetti gets to go at her. So I can't, she's got a restraining order, not a restraining order on me, but I can't be in the same courtroom as her at the same time. I don't know. Maybe she'll eat me. I don't know. But I can't, I guess I scare her. So I don't want to mess up her testimony or anything like that. So I can't do it. Okay. Anyway, I hate her. I really hate her. I hate all these people so much. Let me read a couple cash apps here but before we end the night. First one is Elza sends $20 and says, why was Julie Nagel? Why does she look like the Trunch Bowl? She could probably throw the hammer as far as her. I don't know. I would say poor nutrition. Kate Thornton sends $15 and says, you're a rocket. Okay. Thank you, Kate Thornton. Eliza sends $5 and says the blob was Julie Nagel's reflection in the rear view. Oof. Yikes. Fatty McAlbert sends $10 and says, do you think the Dudley Fire Department has a siren use contest? Seems it. I know. There is a lot of that going on. Emmy Anastas sends $10 and says, thanks for all you do. Free Karen Reed. Thank you, Emmy. Patricia sends $25 and says, for being so funny. Oh, thank you. The Black Blob. I know. Sometimes these jokes write themselves. Michael Ward sends $10 and says, Higgins and Albert motions today to suppress the phone and testimony. That's going to be interesting. Do you guys think Higgins is going tomorrow? I'm going to try to go Thursday. That's when I want to go. Because I don't know. It's just a half day. I want to get in. I got to get in. I'll get in. If I have to sleep there, I have to sleep there. But, is what it is. Is what it is. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions before we call it a night? I hate them all too. I'm reading your comments over here. McCabe is not testifying tomorrow. Anyone know who is? Does anyone know who is testifying tomorrow? McCabe tomorrow, folks. Again, yeah. I think they're up. They got to be up soon. The rate we're going. Jem McCabe, Matt McCabe, Allie McCabe. Yeah. Holy shit. We got 4,900 Rumble rats at this time. That's wild. That's wild. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he testify? That's gonna be a long one too. They're definitely gonna call him. How can they not call him? Is Mello dead? Unfortunately not. And that's another one. Oh, you shouldn't wish death upon anyone. The world's a better place without Ken Mello. Like, he's another one. I don't regret saying that. Like, he's a horrible person, and I hope he burns in eternal hell for his crimes against justice. A worthless piece of shit, that motherfucker. Oh, he's evil. The damage he's done. Oh my God. All right. Anyone else have any other questions? Melanie thinks Higgins will tell all due to the proffer, Jack says over on Rumble. Interesting. I mean, there is a proffer. Imagine that. He just comes clean. Imagine that. We still haven't gotten to anyone in the truck with Ryan Nagel, Lucky Loughran. There's a lot of really good witnesses coming. All right, Turtleboy, what happened with YouTube? We called Julie Nagel a piece of shit, so we're banned for a week. We're going to be on here for a bit. Turtleboy is real as fuck. No doubt about that. Lust for a river. Can we just skip YouTube? We all love Rumble. I mean, I do like YouTube. It's very convenient. YouTube plays when my phone's not on. Rumble doesn't do that. So, I mean, when my phone's not, whatever. Oh, Scott McGinnis says, seems too soon for Higgins, but who knows? I don't think it does. Lally is not following what we thought regarding his state's witness batting order. I know. That's the only thing Lally's like kind of surprising at, the batting order. I actually like Rumble over YouTube now that I had to make an account here. I mean, it's basically the same thing. It gets the job done, does it not? And no, I'm not doing, we'll see freestyle. I haven't done one like a year. A couple cash apps here. Leah sends $10 and says, fight the good fight. Thank you, Leah. And C. Nesbitt sends $10 and says, thanks for the Tristin impression. Fuck Julie Nagel. I know. Bro, Tristan's the best. It's my dog, man. We're both from Southie. I'm from Southie too. So there's that. All right, cool. Anyone else before we call it a night? I'm a little tired. So the defense calls their witnesses after the prosecution rests, which a couple more weeks probably. Couple more weeks. All right, guys. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night because it's getting a little late. But stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to stream in the morning. We got a big day. Who knows? Who the fuck knows what's going to happen tomorrow, man? It's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. Let's go. Really exciting shit. Now that we're done with the firefighters, we're past them. Now the fun part. So anyway, guys, I'm out. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 o'clock for the stream. Peace, Turtle Riders.